Good evening, one and all, and welcome to round 10 of the GPVWC Academy Championship here at Zandvoort, here in the Netherlands. I'm James Knox, and joining me in the commentary box this evening for his first GPVWC commentating gig is Alex Bettany. And on cameras, as always, we have Amir, Oates, and we look to bring you all of the action tonight here in the Academy Series. So then, Alex, how are we feeling about tonight?
Feeling promising. I'm not sure about you, James, but Zandvoort, personal favourite of mine. Very banked, so you get to see quite a few overtakes. Let's just see what they can bring us today.
Yeah, definitely. Zandvoort obviously not on the main career ladder. So this is a bit of a stray away from what all the other series follow. So you've got Super League, Super Lights, FS1, FS2. They do not go to this track. So it's very interesting to see what sort of setups these academy drivers have gone for, because they probably won't be able to get help from maybe FS2 teams who might have driven here. But no, it'd be really interesting to see how these cars navigate around this Dutch circuit. So any experiences then around here, Bettany? Alex, so you say that this is one of your favourite tracks then?
Yeah, in the F1 games, I really quite like it, especially into turn 1 and 3. Where you get a bit of that banking. That's one of my favourites. A really good opportunity for overtaking. And we're going to have the long straight from 14, DRS straight, possibly chance for some good overtakes there.
Absolutely. We've obviously this is a very technical, narrow track. There's not much room for overtaking, but when there are cars side by side, it's always puts you on your toes. So as we are just waiting for the drivers to peel out for qualifying, I believe practice has just finished. So I think Lucas Machulik was topping the times. So what can we expect from him, Alex?
So he managed to top the timing sheet by a good about 6/10. So he is one of the favourite 4/10s. But we also do have the driver who won last weekend in Brands Hatch in race 2, Aman Lul. Those two are my personal favourites. Lucas going to try and recover after his skirmishes in Brands Hatch, where he unfortunately lost out on the race win in race 1, where he flipped on the curb.
Absolutely, and how unlucky was that? I mean, he was leading by about 11 seconds, and I'm sure he thought just as much as we did that he had it in the bag there, but unfortunately the curb had other answers for him and chucked him straight into the air. So it'd be interesting to see him bounce back. And I like to think that his win in Spa and FS2, for those who have seen the FS2 race, would have seen that Machulik did manage to win race 2 there. So all the plaudits go to him there. I like to think that was his his redemption, let's say, for what happened in Brands Hatch. But no, it'd be very interesting to see if he can pull away like he did last time, or maybe Lal and Amara, our 2 race winners from Brands Hatch, can launch a fight here. So as we now have a look at Elliot Vega going around this big old banked turn here. I would try and pronounce the name of this corner, but it's very hard. But he goes in and he's pitting, so he's not starting a lap there. Maybe something wrong with his force feedback settings. But as we now ride on board with Lucas Machulik, who has a penalty, I see. So I'm just hearing word in my ear that he has a penalty, so he's serving that one. But here we go, riding on board with Lucas Machulik as he heads down into turn 1, Alex.
Yeah, down into turn 1. Follow the braking, hug the apex, use the banking to your advantage, run wide on the curb. Don't take too much because it can really unsettle the car, and all of the drivers have got to be cautious as he heads into turn 3. A lot of drivers have got to be cautious of the curves. We saw, especially in Brands Hatch, like you said before, Lucas flipped in race 1, but we also had Sofian flip in race 2. He managed to finish the race, but that is one thing all drivers must be aware of in these cars.
Absolutely, as he's looking pretty quick at the moment. Hopefully we can be able to see the sector times come through. Bit of a correction there. Heads down into what I believe to be the nice tight sections of turn 9, turn 10. Got a nice purple sector 1 there, but obviously we do not know if that is as it stands. He now comes down what would be the DRS zone, but these cars, I believe, oh no, they do have DRS, sorry. He's open to DRS, braking down into turn 11 and then turn 12. Very tight section here. Go right and then left, long little hairpin bit there. This now puts the gas down there, heading 4th, 5th. Braking down into 4th, hug the apex, run it nice and wide. Don't want to run your car too much on the apex there now. And this big old bank turn and the final corner. Let's see what this lap's going to be. DRS flap goes wide open there, heads down as our first lap times are peeling in and maturing. There we go. Provisional pole by a very, very small margin there, 0.010 seconds.
We now watch Amir Alifi as he heads round through turn 13 into 14. Not really setting the timing screens alight so far, but he's going to try and hug that bottom, hugging, using the banking to his advantage. DRS flap not opening just yet. I'm not sure if that's a bit like, there it is. He's coming up to the line. It's only 12 for Amir.
Only softens. Oh, Mata there going off. That's quite a hard corner to get right, but here we go. Now having a look at Lorenzo, who is our commentator for FS2, dipping his toes into Academy. Yet again, I think he's had a few appearances here. As now around the final corner he comes. Let's see what he can do. He's 1.2 seconds off in sector 1, 1.5 seconds off in sector 2. Let's see how it crosses the line. It's going to be 15th there, 4 seconds off the pace. But it's very close there between 1st and 2nd, and then 3rd and 4th as well. Very close between those two. As we now have a look at Timo Kulan heading down into the final few corners. Whoa, a bit of a correction. Whoa! We got well held there from Timo Kulan. That was very, very on the nose, but I'm not sure if he's still going to finish this lap. So maybe just going to start a new one as Koshov Sukat goes up into P6 there, Kalea into P5, and yeah, Kulan a few seconds off there, but here we go. Okay, right, Azir. Siki, I'm really sorry, I'm not great with pronouncing that one, but here we go. Then around the banking, nice wide line. It's now heads down to finish sector 1, Alex.
Here we are then. He's heading into turn number 7 now. Is he going to try and keep it flat? He is so. Now heading into turn number 8. It looked very strong on the downforce. He's only a few hundredths off his personal best just yet. Here he is heading around turn number 9. Trying to keep off the apex. It can unsettle the car around turn number 10. Hugging that inside curb and letting it run wide on the exit down. The DRS is open as he heads into turn number 11. This is one of the most difficult parts with the gravel on the outside. It can always keep your momentum slow, and he managed to take it pretty spot on.
Yep, he's improving here, I believe. So what will be important now are these final few corners. He's carrying loads of speed through there. And here we go around the banking, going to be hugging that grass. On the corner, Pablo Mata as well into P3 as well, just a 10th off. But this is, here we go. Let's have a look. Is he going to go? Provisional pole there by 10th. So Azir puts it in P1 for now, as there's improvements all around the grid. Here we go, Gabriel Peckley there, P19 up into P14, 2.8 seconds off the pace. But there we go, very solid banker lap there from Gabriel. As we now have a look at Aman Lal, who is our race winner, may I remind you, from Brands Hatch. So now it comes down into turn 11, then turn 12, we ride on board with the back of Aman Lal as 3/10 off sector 1. 1 second, there we go, on board there with Aman Lal. 10th off in sector 2. Oh, missing the apex a bit there, bit of a correction. The camber maybe putting him off just a little bit though. He's going to be hugging the inside as much as possible. There we go. Out straight to the outside. DRS flat wide open. Is he going to go? P12 there for Aman Lal, but obviously with that correction, a lot of time was lost. So it'll be interesting to see what he can achieve. And Lucas backwards there. So, but I believe he did improve. Just seeing that now, but maybe not enough. He's going Elliot Vega across the line. 13th place for Elliot Vega. As here we go. Elliot rolls as well now, crossing the line. Elliot to the Elliot in P15 there. So one Elliot in P13 and the other in P15.
Here we are then on board with Drero Calera, sorry, as he heads around turn number 14. Are we going to see the DRS flap open? Very late DRS. Oh, he's into the pit lane.
He's gone straight into the pits there. Clearly not thinking that lap was enough as Loza Matteo here improving. DRS open down into turn 11 and 12. A little bit of a missed apex, a little bit of gravel there, but that's fine. It's all a bit of a correction. Not entirely smooth, but that should be fine. Should be able to come back here. Oh, lots of grass taken there, but here we go. This will be what's important. A nice run down to the line. Will it be an improvement for Matteo here?
Here we are then. He's coming across the line. DRS flat wide open. Is it going to be enough to take P1? He stays P9. That last sector was not an improvement. All of those corrections have just gradually lost it. Oh, we have a car back.
Dear.
That is Omar. He managed to spin it back around, but he is missing his front wing. He's going to have to come back into the pit lane for that. Oh.
Indeed. As we see Lal go into P7, but yeah, Omar... Yeah, I'm not sure how that would have happened. Maybe just a bit of overcorrection coming out of that corner, hitting the wall, and then, yeah, well, the rest is history, unfortunately. So, but in the academy, you can reset back to pit lane without having to drive back. So, should be able to see another time on the wall as Davocross there. Look at that. Purple sector 2, green sector 1. Is this going to be a provisional pole lap time here from Davocross? Round the final few corners. There we go. So, 4/10 off of pole at the moment. Is this going to be a shock time to put himself into P1 as Amar as well goes into P1, but is Davocross going to improve? He's improved into P4, but Amara goes P1. So there we go. So Amara, we were clearly looking at the wrong person there, unfortunately, as Amara goes into P1. So very interesting here. And the driver we thought would get pole is down in P3.
Yeah, Lucas is on a lap, but Sofiane Amara is showing himself to be the wild card today. The Frenchman, he was very unlucky in race 2 on Brands Hatch where he had that flip, but he managed to continue the race, sorry. So he is showing now he's got the pace to be able to fight up there. Lucas wasn't really setting the timing screen to life, but on the timing screen, he has gone purple sector 2, a 21.7. This could be the lap that could get him into a provisional pole position.
This very well could be here, Alex. Round the final few corners he comes. He's 1/10 down in sector 1. He's gone up quite a bit in sector 2 with a nice, lovely purple sector. The DRS flap goes wide open down the main straight. What's it going to be for Lucas? It's not enough. It's not enough. Amara holds on to the provisional pole. And speaking of Amara, Amara's improving here. Here we go. Around the final corner. Is Amara going to extend the gap to P2? Going to be hugging the inside as much as possible. What's it going to be for Amara? It's going to be an improvement there. Not much, but it's definitely an improvement is an improvement. But there we go. That's fantastic there. So Amara, there we go, opens the gap there to P2.
We see Mata, purple sector 1, a yellow sector 2. What's it going to be across the line? It's not an improvement, but is Sofiane Amara proven himself to be one of the challengers in today's race? Like I said, wasn't really showing the pace last time.
Yeah, I mean, Amara, yeah, did do quite well in Brands Hatch, I believe. I think won race 1, so you know, interesting to see. Oh, Aman Lal, sorry, Aman Lal is on a purple sector 1, green sector 2, going down across the line. What's it going to be? P6 there. So Aman Lal with a purple sector 1, but just couldn't finish the rest of the lap. Put the rest of the lap together. Gabriel Peckley, P10. I mean, I think it is an improvement, but I don't think it's enough to go up a few positions. There's Lucas Machulik there. Look at that. Purple sector 1 by 2/10. This surely has to be the lap here, Alex.
Here we are across the line. He's in pole position by 0.2 of a second. Lucas now showing he really means business today.
Absolutely. Took a few laps, but Machulik eventually put the lap I think we were waiting for together. But I'm sure the others will respond and will have an answer as we now have a look at Elliot Vega, 7/10 off in sector 1. But let's see here, down in 15th behind P14 there. There's all a bit of a twitch there. DRS flap wide open. So now heads down into P11, P12. What's the sector 2 going to be? She crosses the split. There we go, 5/10 off there, but hitting the apex there. Booking the car nice around, get the power down, there we go, lovely. And it comes now into P13, get the car nice and wide, carry as much speed as you possibly can, hit the apex there, don't run the car too wide, otherwise you will lose speed on that very steep apex there. Speaking of steep, here's the banking of turn 14. Hug the inside. What's it going to be for Elliot Vega as he crosses the line? It's going to be an improvement, but it's not going to be enough to go up any positions there, Alex.
Are we seeing something new that all of the drivers are starting to do? Is the inside line out of turn 14 actually going to be helping them? We saw Amir do it on his pole lap, where he went to provisional pole. We've just seen Elliot Vega, do it. Is this a new strat to do? Is this going to be able to assist them in getting the lap time that they truly need?
I believe so. I think keeping it to the inside obviously minimises the track distance that you're going, as some drivers like to do it, some drivers don't. You know, as we're seeing here from Amir, he's taking a different line, he's gone purple sector 3 there. So I think it's you know, it seems to be at the moment driver preference on maybe what they've driven here before. And, you know, it seems like it's differing around the grids. But as we now have a look at Kalea, who's got green in sector 1 now, has now opens the DRS and heads down to hit the sector 2 line. What is this going to be? So here we go. It's a green sector 2 as well. So Kalea could be on for a very nice improvement here. So now heads around turn 12, running the car nice and wide, going to be carrying as much speed as possible here through these final 2 corners. Apex there. Oh, I'm not sure if I ran it too wide there, but I think that should be fine. Riding on board with the Oates. There we go. He runs it nice and wide there rather than keeping to the inside like we have seen from quite a few drivers. As he crosses the line, it is an improvement, and it's 7th place there for Kalea. So there you go. Very good lap there from here. Oh, dear, Timo Kulin. Timo Kulin there. Oh, Amir is still missing a front wing. Has he gone in to replace that? So he's trying to lap with that front wing. I mean, he's very ambitious. But 18 seconds off the pace is Amir there. Oh, big lock-up going into turn 1. But I think you might want to get that front wing repaired. As here we go, and now have a look at Davakos, who's 2 tenths down in sector 1, DRS open, and 2 tenths down again in sector 2. But, you know, maybe it can be recoverable through these last few corners. Never mind, we'll cut to Azir here. So Azir, carrying loads of speed through there. Look at that. On the banking, nice outside line. You don't want to go to the inside, you will lose speed. We've seen it in almost every category. The outside line around that banking is better. As Azir now heads down to cross the sector 1 line. What's it going to be? As we now cut to Matteo. And Amir, here we go. We'll cut back to Azir there. Purple sector 1 for Azir. There we go. So this could be the lap. This could be the one for Azir that puts him on pole as he goes past turn 9. As Lucas Machulik is improving, actually, on his time. So Machulik will let Siki there continue on his lap, but Machulik has gone purple in sector 2. Now rounding the final banking here. Is he going to keep it as tight as possible? No, he's going to run it nice and wide. Is this going to be an improvement for Lucas Machulik? Let's see here. Crosses the line. It is indeed, and he increases the gap to 3 tenths there. But so Azir there has lost about 4 tenths in that second sector. Is it still going to be an improvement, though, to maybe, just maybe, get Amara for P2? Let's see here. Opens the DRS. To the line he goes. What's it going to be? It's not going to be an improvement to get P2, Alex.
We now see Sofian Amara is improving. He's got the green sector 1 and lost a bit of time in that sector 2. But could he just try and get ever that closer to Lucas Machulik? We see him hugging that inside line around turn 14 now. The dark horse, I'd say, of the entire field. We know Lucas, he's got a lot of pace. He had a lot of pace, but managing to bag a front row is Sofian Amara.
Absolutely. So I believe that is everyone now with their laps complete. So as qualifying does come to an end, I'd say that was quite an interesting quali there. But Lucas taking pole position there by 3 tenths ahead of Sofian Amara. And it'll be very interesting to see if these two can get into a nice heated battle in race 1. As Azir Tsiki there, P3 on his first showing, I believe, in Academy. So very impressive there from him. Pablo Mata in P4 and Georgios Davakos in P5. Aman Lal, P6 with Kalea in P7. Gabriel Bettany in P8 with Martin Reitberg in P9 and Lozier Matzo in P10. There we go. Saveli Kochov-Sukak is in P11 with Timo Kulin in P12, Tim Coos in P13, and P14 and 15 are the two Elliots. We've got Elliot Rolls and Elliot Vega. Yuri Kochochville in P16 and Amir Al-Hafi in P17. Ronan Thiesman in P18 with Lorenzo Eterovic-Funcic in P19. And rounding off the grid for tonight's race is Omar Emad. So then, Alex, what do you... And obviously R&D Chris. We cannot forget about R&D Chris. He is extremely important. So then, Alex, what do we make of that qualifying session?
I feel like it's showing a lot, you know. We've got Sophie, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect him to be up there, but he's shown he's got his pace. I'm excited to see what Lucas and Sophia can do on track. But I'm questioning a lot about Omar Emad. At the back, he didn't have a front wing for most of the quali. At least we didn't see him get it repaired. Is he just trying to hide his pace a bit and become a bit of a dark horse and turn up late in the race? Or is he just not knowing how to change his front wing?
I mean, you never know. I don't like to say that, did they not know they have a front wing? Because when you drive these cars, you very much know when you don't have a front wing. The car feels understeery, and also it comes up in shining blue on your HUD or whatever HUD you have. You will see it, basically, that you're missing a front wing. So... yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe it's just, I believe it's their first race, so maybe on our factor, I'm not sure, but it's the first race in GPV, so maybe just getting used to how we run here. But again, maybe who knows, in the race, there's always time to turn it around. So yeah, it'll be very, very interesting here, as everyone here is trying to prove themselves to all the other teams in the career ladders. This is what I've got. Please allow me to show what I can do.
One thing as well, James, I'm interested for in the race is the battle between the two Elliots, Elliot Rolls and Elliot Vega, P14 and P15, starting close to each other on the track and seeming about the same pace. I'm excited to see which Elliot will turn out on top.
Absolutely. I mean, it'll be very interesting. I mean, they are both as well, mind you, in P14 and P15. So if they are to remain in those positions for race 2, we could have an all Elliot front row in race 2. I mean, how incredible would that be, right? So yeah, no, it'll be very interesting to see who will be the better Elliot in race 1 and race 2 as well, obviously. But yeah, no, I mean, race, you know, the main focus here, I definitely will be if the Tulik can bounce back from Brands Hatch after the unfortunate curb atrocities, I think is probably the best way to describe it. But also, I don't think the cars behind will give him an easy time either. I can guarantee that if Amar gets a good start off the line, he will not hesitate to launch a move going into turn 1. But it's a very short run here in Zandvoort going into turn 1.
Very short indeed. I'm also interested in what he can do. He looked like he was struggling a bit down in P6. Last week, race week for Academy, he was P1 in race 2 after Lucas had an unfortunate comeback. Well, not unfortunate, a brilliant comeback, but it was just a bit messy. So he managed to hold him off for the last few laps in there. I'm excited to see what he can do making his way through the field today.
Absolutely. I think race 2 is always, you know, obviously it's not taken away from race 1, obviously. You know, race 1's amazing, but race 2 we definitely see a lot more battles, as the whole grid is just completely reversed to P15. It's not like we have, like in FS2, there's a randomizer from P10 to P15. Here it is just always P15, so it can always throw a pretty crazy race 2 for us. So yeah, I'm just as excited for race 2 as I am for race 1, though. But as we now have 7 minutes and 40 seconds for the warm-up, Alex.
Yes, I'm interested to see what's going to happen in turn 1. We see Amir Alifi in the gravel before he resets the track there. Not sure what just happened there. But we've seen before in past motorsports, in real life F1, a very short run down to the grid. Would it be worth Amar holding back until the big straight and using the slipstream to his advantage?
Yeah, so I think the whole thing with Amara is, I think if he could hold on, like if he doesn't get past Lucas in turn 1, if he can hold on throughout the first lap, and yes, as you say, if he can stay behind around this corner as we're going through here, turn 13, if he can hold on and stick behind him through this bank corner, we could see a move on lap 2 going into turn 1. But that is solely dependent on if Amara could just maintain the gap to Machulik and you know, make his way through. But yeah, it'd be very interesting here because Zandvoort, bang into the wall there. Turn 1. There we go. But as we see though, a warm up I think is what it says on the tin. Really, it's warm up. Everyone's going to be trying their race fuel. Everyone's going to be trying different things. As there we go, speaking of different things, and there we go, Timo into the wall. And I think that is what happens when you take the inside line. But I'm really not sure if the inside line or the all on fire as well. Oh dear. Might want to escape back to pit lane, my friend. Oh, nice little barbecue going on there at turn 3. That's okay. Timo killed all of that. I'll be very impressed if you can get that round back to a pit lane, my friend. But yeah, no. I mean, this is the whole thing though. Everyone's testing their limits because 15 laps in academy can feel quite long. I mean, especially when you're, you know, if you're leading, regardless of whatever you're doing, it can feel like an age. So I think everyone's going to be trying to. Oh, Timo, mate. what's I'm lost for words here. I mean, plaudits to him for trying to get it around the track, but I think that car is screaming for help at the moment. We're trying to take a little shortcut, are we? Oh, okay. And I've never seen that before in my commentating career, but that's, you know, you always see something new every day, and that's something I think I will definitely. I mean, probably not remember for the rest of my life, but definitely remember. But anyway, so everyone's practicing their lines, race fuel. Alex, I'm not sure. You'll have to, you know, tell me. Have you ever done a race in GPV before?
I've done one. I did one in Aragon and I did Imola. So this warm-up is very, very important, especially if you are having computer issues. Just take this time to reset your PC, try and get all your sends correctly, and tune your setups if needs be, especially with the fuel, like you said. Cars feel very heavy on the start, so you want to try and get that handling down and just work your way through the warm-up and the races. Your car gets more nimble as it burns off the fuel.
Absolutely. And I think as well, going from quali, because this is different, right? Because you know how in real life you have qualifying one day and you've got the race the next day, so you have that time to compose yourself. Here, you've got a warm-up session and then you're straight in the race. You know, you don't have much time to acclimatise to the heavier fuel loads, the stress and anxiety you might be feeling at the start lights. You know, it's a very short time to acclimatise, and I think, you know, it comes with experience, obviously, with driving in GPV. But this warm-up is definitely a cool-down phase just to get used to how the car handles. And it's also 10 minutes is, you know, for some drivers it's not enough. For some drivers it's more than enough. So it just depends on how you deal with the warm-up phase. As here is Lucas Machulik. I think people might also. There's something else you can do in the warm-up, obviously, and that is practice your race starts. So these cars, you want to be getting the clutch and the throttle at the perfect point, and making sure you have a good start, especially around a track like this. You want to make sure you're leading come turn 1 or ahead of whoever you want to be going to turn 1, as this is a difficult track to overtake on. So as we see Azir as well taking the outside line. So I'm seeing people go on the inside line and the outside line there. So it's very interesting. I'm not sure what's entirely quicker here, Alex.
I feel like on the outside you're able to hold a lot more speed, but you also are on the more dirty side. A lot of drivers tend to try and take that middle. On the dirty side you get all the marbles, and as the track slowly rubbers in, you'll probably be... Oh! Pablo Mata into the walls there. Has he just hit the grass? Or not just sure. But with that,
yeah.
With the turn 3, sorry. As the track rubbers in, you might just get a little bit more grip on that outside. It will really help you heading down towards turn number 4.
Absolutely. And if those who are watching, who are new to GPVWC, and you are interested in joining the league, just have a little look in our links down in the description below, and you can join the Academy Series drivers here and try and prove yourself to maybe have a go on our other career ladders. So, yeah, this would be definitely an interesting one, I think, Alex. You know, this is your first commentary gig here as well, so how are you feeling as well, actually?
I'm feeling all right. There's a lot different to what is actually on the grid, but seeing this still, it's really nice to see. Especially if you've been doing this before, you get that more insider experience. You get to understand how people are taking the lines, how it will improve their driving style, and how it will affect their lap time. As we can see, we saw Amir, had that incident, but then managed to recover it up into, I believe, the top 15. Pretty sure it was. Sorry.
Yes, is this Amir?
Amir leaping.
Yes. No, exactly. And you know, recovery is the big thing here as well. If you can recover from a difficult scenario, you know, I think that's also seen in a very good light. You know, we saw it with Lucas in, you know, race 2 Brands Hatch, coming from very far behind to get P2. We've seen it in the past as well. I've only seen, you know, I've only been commentating for Malaysia Brands and I'm trying to remember the other one now, Imola. So I've not seen the whole scope of Academy this year, but from what I have seen, it does also seem like those comeback drives are just as important as getting pole and winning, because if you can prove that you could also fight through the grid nice and cleanly, you will definitely be on the scouting boards for any team that be interested. Hey, there we go. There we go, Lucas trying to get into the pit lane there as quick as possible, maybe looking to practice the start, but as Amir Al-Hafi there crosses the line. There we go, just doing some of his laps there, but as now warm-up is over, so the times you see on the board are all race pace times, everyone practicing what they can do on heavy fuel loads. And there goes Elliot Vega as well, going to be crossing the line with the RS Open. And going back to the pit lane there, Alex.
Yes, and we obviously see Amara topping the timing sheets once again. I'm pretty sure he topped the timing sheets in practice before qualifying. He's really starting to show his pace now. Could this be that little bit of pressure that affects his competitors, gives him that little bit of an edge?
Absolutely. I mean, we see that Matulik hasn't set a time in warm-up, but again, that could just be, you know, not everyone has to set a time in warm-up. So, you know, but sometimes I think topping warm-up does sometimes put you in a good place mentally, because you think, right, I've got every chance to be, you know, quick on track in the race. So, yeah, it'll be very important, I think, for just to get honed in for race 1, as now I believe everyone is heading over to the grids. So 15 laps around Circuit Zandvoort here in the Netherlands, 4.259 kilometers in circuit length. And as mentioned, round 10, the championship, we've got Germany and Poland coming in the next 4 weeks. So be sure to tune in for those. And yeah, so it's been very good one, I think, for drivers to prove themselves, especially on a track that isn't on the actual career ladder. So yeah, it'll be very good. Any predictions, Alex, at all?
I feel like we are going to see a big battle between the top 3. They did look quite close midway through quali. Obviously, Lucas had that performance of a lap, which got him 0.3 ahead. But before that, there was about a tenth, maybe half a tenth in between both Lucas Matulik, Sophia Namara, and Ashir Tsuki. And I feel like we're going to see a bit of a battle between them. And obviously, the midfield, they looked really close. So it's just going to be a bit of a mixture between all that.
Definitely. I think, you know, if Matulik, I think, can get his lap time down, he will definitely be contender for the win here. But if Amara can hold on, it'll be a nice little battle for the lead. So I believe we're going to be cutting to a nice little... so the intro, Amir, that you want to cut to? I'm hearing you. Yep. Okay, so we will be back in just a minute as we play the intro for the Academy Series while everyone has onto the grid.
I'm ready.
So then, here we go. Then everyone is on the formation lap. As we see here, Lucas Machulik leads the way. As we're now just waiting for the grid graphic to pop up so I can take you through the grid for race 1. Here we go. Lucas Machulik is on pole position after scintillating qualifying time put him 3/10 ahead of Safina Mara, who starts P2 and will be looking to challenge Lucas for that lead of the race. Can we go back? Aziz Siki in P3 with Pablo Mata starting in P4. That is your second row there. And then Georgios Davicos starts P5. Amalal in P6 with Herakalea in P7 with Gabriel Peckley rounding off the row 4 in P8. Martin Whiteberg, P9 with Lozea Mateo in P10 with Saveli Kochtov Sukak in P11 and Timo Kulin in P12. And we've got Tim Koos in P13, Elliot Rolls in P14 with Elliot Vega in P15 and Yuri Kotochville starts P16. P17, Amir Hafi, and then P18 we have Roman Fesman. P19, Lorenzo Ezra Funcic, and P20, Omar Emad. I believe that rounds off our 20-car grid here with obviously the special edition of RD Chris, who will not be driving, but he is there. So, Lucas Machulik then rounding the big bank turn and lining up onto the grid here. There's lots of swerve in there from the car in P3. That's from the Siki there, as everyone lines up on the grid. There we go, there is everyone. And here we have Omar rounding off the grid here as they now... As here we go, it finishes and stop. There we go. So then, round 10 of Zandvoort. There's 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights for race 1 here. And it's away we go. Lucas seems to have a fantastic start there as Amara not as well as Machulik. Down they come into turn 1. Is seeking to try to go around the outside of Amara. No, Amara holds on for P2. Mata holds on for P4 as well as Davicos slots in behind. Is Tasiki there? Maybe going to try a send going into the bank corner. There's back end kicks out from Mata. Well held there, my friend, as he goes round the banking. And I think he just about holds on for P4 there after his back end slips out as they now head down into this tight, twisty section of the end of sector 1. So now head down into turn 7. Machulik leads the race, followed by Amara, second behind. Siki following very close in P3 with Mata P4, Davicos P5, and Lal in P6. There's yellows in sector 1. There's been lots of movement in the mid-pack, but we have no idea what's going on. Is that Funcic as well, dropping, I think, a bit there, as they now head around P9, not P9, court turn 9, down into P10. Timo Kulin there, running just a little bit wide. There's a spinner. Tim Coos will be going round, but he's going to get that nice and spun around there, Alex.
Yeah, so we saw Lucas managing to hold off Safia and Amara. Amara didn't look to have that good of a start, as we see Taziki now on the rear end heading into turn number 14. A bit of contact there Amara gets really loose as they head side by side through turn 14 now. And we also saw Mata up behind managing to save it of his little wobble into turn number 3. Oh, contact!
There's contact. There's contact between the two drivers there. Bit of a squeeze from Amara, I believe. Or Amara trying to make a move on Siki. Siki squeezing him into the wall, and there's a bit of contact. But Amata says, "Yes, please. Thank you very much. I'll take that P2 off of you, my friend." As we now have a look at Davicos heading down into turn 3 there. A big bank corner there, but what's going on there then? So Siki and Amara making a bit of contact, battling for P2, and Mata says, "Yes, please. Thank you very much. I'll take that."
Amara was so lucky not to have his front suspension ripped off there. He's almost 45 degrees into the wall, but all of this is allowing Lucas to have that little bit of breathing room, which will overall be helping his confidence. You want to have that breathing room in case of mistakes. So we now ride on board with Bettany. Round turn number 9, heading through to turn number 10. I'm just curious what has happened at the back, because we've had Imad DNFing out of this race. We didn't see it for all of the chaos in the front, but Imad is out of this race and everyone else is about 25 seconds behind.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of here we go. Sika going down the inside of Kratochville. Hold on, holds on the brakes, bang! Into the back goes Thesman on Kratochville, losing his front wing. Is Elliot Vega going to try and make his way around the Thesman, who's lost his front wing? Elliot Vega there squeezes his way through, and Vega, what's happened there? Kratochvil Sukak as well. It's gone round. Did he get beach on the curb? Oh no! So Kratochvil Sukak's gone round. We're going side by side. Lal and Davicos as well. There's so much action going on here, Alex. I don't know what to look at.
Did Savelli hit the curb? Did he get chair time? We only saw the end of it, but we did see his rear end up in the air. Did he hit that curb that causes you to flip? We've seen it in practice before, as we'd see Detchov and Desman into the pit lane.
Absolutely. I think we have seen it might be another Brass Hatch situation where he's hit that curb and flown high into the air. And yeah, very unfortunate there if that is the case, but we do not know until we obviously see the replay pictures. But we now ride on board with Lal here, right up behind Davicos. Going to get a nice wide line, hitting the apex of turn 10. But he's also got another car to worry about. Who's this? Oh, it's Funcic there into the wall. But I think we need to just have a look here as Gabriel Peckley now just trying to defend from Heraclea, as there's a bit of a train here going on from Kratochvil into the wall there after unfortunately making contact in the lap previous. Has made contact, but Aman Lal in P6 then trying to get Davicos. Will he have the DRS to go down the straight? Here we go. Suzuki now going round the outside of Mata, Alex. Here we go. Down they go side by side, heading down into turn 1.
Kazuki does have that DRS heading into turn number 1, but will Mata be able to defend in the inside? No, he doesn't. He's smart, backing out. But is he going to try and go around the outside of Ashia, as he just isn't able to hold it? But into turn number 3, can he keep it straight this time? We've seen in the past he's had that little bit of a wobble. He's managing to keep it through nice and safely. Very high line from Mata there.
Yeah, that was a nice tidy move there from Siki, but Mata nearly had it around the outside. So, very, very nearly getting that one done. But yeah, Siki now up into P2. Amara, I'm sure, will be now trying to chase Mata down to take P3 away from him. As you now have a look at Davicos in the battle for what is P5. There's a bit of a train behind him here. Lal, Peckley, Kalea, and then Matteo just on the back end of it. There's all a bit of a rear end switch there. Not getting the car as wide as I'm sure we'd liked to. And we now ride on board then with Kalea to now head down into turn 10, just behind Gabriel Peckley. They're now heading down this back straight. DRS wide open there for these drivers, all in the train. But I'm sure Lal might be lining up a move on Davicos here, as he looks very, very, very close to Georgios as they now head down into turn 11. So now turn 13. So now ride on board with Gabriel Peckley just behind Aman Lal. Will we see him move into turn 1, Amir? Not Amir, Alex.
That's all right. So riding on board with Peckley now, DRS wide open, but we can also see a bit of a DRS train. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1, that is coming up. Lucas sets the fastest lap once more, but the DRS train, it's going to be able to keep them within the rest of the pack, but this is also increasing the chance of batting. Peckley now still in 7, a lot of curb usage there in turn number 2, as he heads a bit of a midline through turn 3, but it's a brilliant exit. Is he going to be able to use the slipstream to his advantage?
Let's see here. It's not usually a conventional overtake to try and get the move done before turn 7. But is anyone going to try it? I don't believe so. As Tim Kuze dropping quite a few positions. But is there all the cars now all tucked in there, all looking very close now. So I believe we hopefully might be seeing some overtakes getting done. Oh, running it quite wide there is Beckley. As Kalea might just be getting right on the back of him. But again, as you say, this DRS train is definitely helping Davicos here, I think, because you know, the car behind him has pressure from the car behind, and then, you know, it goes back and back and back, and then, you know, at the end of the day, it's, it might be helping Davicos a little bit here. Also, the dirty air around this track isn't the greatest, so it'd be hard for these guys to follow behind as best they can, as there's more yellows in Sector 2. I'm not sure what's going on there. Nice curb usage there from Kalea. There we go, there's Elliot Rolls, but here we go. So now head down the main straight, heading down into turn 1. Is there going to be any moves being made here? Gabriel looks quite close on the back of Aman Lal. Is he going to maybe try send into turn 1? No, he's going to hold off and wait maybe another lap here, Alex.
Yes, and we can also see in 19th, Electrikov, 66 seconds behind. Could the leaders run into back markers? Could this be a big play to help Taziki and Mata, and maybe even Sophia and Amara catch up to Lucas Machado, who's running away with it here. But with this DRS train, you want to keep into it. Is he just going to try and go through a move around the outside of turn 7 onto the grass?
Oh
the
my
move was on, a
goodness.
bit of a squeeze from Alan Law.
Yeah, that was very close there, Alex. I'm sorry, I couldn't contain my excitement there. There we go. So that was Heckley there trying to go around the outside at turn 7, and you know, it's a very, very brave person that makes a move around that. Oh no, as the back end slips out there, and this might give an invitation for Kalea to maybe make a move into turn 11, Alex.
This is not what you want if you are in a DRS train, but are we going to see Kalea try and go down the inside? No, we're not. But you want to try and keep in this DRS train. If you leave the DRS train, you are going to lose a lot of time. With the DRS, with the slipstream, these cars are just going to be leaving away with it. We now go on with Amara now. Is he in the DRS of Mateo? Could he try and go for a move later on in the lap?
Yeah, this would be very interesting here. So Amara is, see, 7/10 it is for DRS this year. So Amara just needs to get within 7/10 of Mata, and then he'll get that DRS and maybe try and challenge for P3 after he made that contact with Siki there. So it'd be very interesting to see what goes on there as Peckley now round the big banked turn of turn 12, not turn 12, turn 3. Why did I say turn 12? As Kalea in P8, right on board with Peckley as well, just getting a nice view of Davicos defending as hard as he can from our race winner in Brands Hatch, Aman Lal. But Lal doing everything he can to make a move on Davicos. Whether they've got the same pace or not, and he's holding him up, we do not know. But Lal doing everything he can to make a move in this DRS train, and very hard to follow on track, Alex.
We're constantly seeing a loose rear end from Peckley. I managed to see it when you were speaking through turn 3, a very massive snap. So this is all allowing Kalea to keep in within the DRS train. It's just slowly letting him catch up. But Davidos has got a lot of work to do, heading towards turn number 14, the DRS detection point here. And now he's going to have to try and get a brilliant exit. A lot of curb usage there. We've got yellows in sector 2.
Yellows in sector 2. That's Elliot Rolls, and Elliot Vega I just seen drop a position there, so hopefully he's not in any trouble. But here we go, Amara now making a move on Mata down the inside, heading down into turn 1, easy as you like. Through goes Amara, and Aman Lal as well, I think, is making a move on Davicos. Hopefully we can get to the pictures. And Lal is through on Davicos as well, 2 and 2 there. So 1 move for P3 and 1 move for P5.
Now, can Amanul in clean air try and catch up to Mata and Amara? The gap's really not that much, so with a bit of clean air and a few good laps, he may be able to catch up for that battle to P3. But this is also allowing Davidos, Peckley, Calero to also join in that battle for P3.
Absolutely. They'll be hoping that Mata and Amara have a bit of a battle as all. Extra Funchich there in the wall. Without a front wing, he's going to try and rejoin the track as safely as possible. But here we go then to Davicos and Peckley. Oh, back end for Peckley there. So you're really correct there, Alex. His back end just keeps kicking out. I wonder if it's something to do with the setup. But this is going to give a very good exit for Kalea. But I don't think, no, maybe not. So he's not as close as I thought he was. Peckley, they've been saved maybe by the DRS. But yeah, we'll see what Lal can do in clean air, but saying that, it doesn't look like it's very clean air anymore. Look how close he is to Mata, is Lal. He's 2/10 behind Mata. Is this going to be a move for Lal on Mata going into turn 1?
So here we are riding on board now with Beckley. In the distance we can see about the 5 cars, Amara, Mata in the lead, but we cannot see, but we can see Beckley gaining on Davidos. Is he going to try and go for the inside? He looks at it, but no, he's trying to sell him a dummy. And he's going to have to try and hold off. Very loose rear end, nearly losing it there. I'm agreeing with you here, James. Seems to be just a setup issue. Maybe a bit lower rear wing, try and get a bit more straight line speed to keep up with the cars ahead.
Possibly, absolutely. I mean, you know, like I said a lot earlier, you know, this track is not on the official career ladder in any other series. It's just in the Academy series. So these drivers might have to be building their own setups if they aren't getting help from any of the bigger teams in, like, say, FS2. So this is very interesting to see what everyone has gone for in terms of setup. But Mata is still holding on to Amara. He's not letting him go here, Alex.
This is just showing how powerful
very wide.
Oh.
Amara's went very wide. Sorry to interrupt you there. Mata's got a very good run. Is he going to try and go round the outside of turn 11? That's extremely ambitious. But Amara backs off and just lets Mata have it. Mata locks up. Mata locks up, goes into the gravel. And please rejoin safely, my friend. He does indeed. But Mata, they're losing the time he had. He maybe got a bit ambitious, trying to outbrake Amara, and off into the gravel he went.
Getting that clean air over the nose can certainly affect the balance. They're so used to the dirty air being behind the car ahead that fresh air could just catch them off guard. But now Amara has got about 6 cars behind him. He's got all of the pressure to hold on to that P3 as Amir looks very close. Nearly contact with Davidos behind.
Yeah, Davokos there, nearly hitting the back of Lau. That would have been terrible if that happened, but luckily it didn't. So we move on. Look how close he is to Lau. He's going to try and get a better exit here through this bank turn of turn 3 as they now head down into this tight, twisty section at the end of sector 1. Who's it going to be here? Battle for P3. Amara, Lau, Davokos. Down they come into P7. Oh, bit of a twitchy event there for Davokos as they now head down into turn 8. Very high speed corners, very hard to follow, but they are doing a very good job here to try and stay in touch with the DRS of Amara. Yellow's in sector 3 as we speak, but this is the focus here. Lau in P4, just following Amara. Amara, we thought he'd pull away a little bit more, but he, you know, the cars behind him are not letting him get away. But Lau maybe looking to challenge for P3 here, and Amara not able to get away as quick as he can. Maybe the DRS keeping the car behind in touch here, Alex.
Yes, indeed. Sophia using the clean air to his advantage, but he knows that Amir will have DRS this time round. Is he going to have to do a defensive move? Well, of course he is, sorry. But here we are then, heading down onto the main stroke. 5 laps remaining. Lucas, a 2.4 second gap. It's slowly coming down. Earlier on in the race, it was about 3 seconds. So Taziki isn't really letting Lucas run away with it. As we see Aman try to hold it, and he cannot get a run on Amara.
No. So again, dirty air playing a factor, and as you say, yes, the gap between P1 and P2 is closing just a little bit, but I wonder if that's because Lucas maybe just, you know, saving his pace a little bit. He's leading by a comfortable margin. He doesn't need to push as hard as he needs to. So maybe that could be it. But here we go. Lau very, very close to Amara. Very, very close. Will he be able to follow him through turn 7 and turn 8? Getting very close to the rear wing of Amara. But Amara is going to be seeing this. He's going to be really under pressure here. As speaking of pressure, Lau runs a little bit wide. Is that going to give impetus for Davokos to maybe go for a move? It looks like Lau goes a bit defensive as we ride on board with Lau, as it looks like Davokos might have hampered Davokos' line through there, as Mata is now very, very close to Davokos. So here we go then, through the DRS, heading down into turn 11. Who's it going to be? I think Mata is probably not going to go for a move. He's way too far back. But the battle rages on for P3 here. Anything can happen here, Alex.
Yes, and in the background we saw Beckley. He has lost the DRS. Is that twitchy rear end starting to affect him now? He's going to be getting a bit of clean air, but Kalia behind will have DRS and the slipstream. Is this going to be affecting Beckley now? To ride on board with Alan Law down into turn number 1, he's going to be having to go more defensive against Davidos. Sorry.
Yeah, as they now head down into turn 1, riding on board with Mata. Oh, Davokos there really wants to get this move done now. We're too close to the end. He wants to make the move as there's a car going very slow. That's Kotochville, unfortunately, missing a front wing. So very unfortunate there for the Czech Republican. But here we go. Aman Lal, Amara, Davokos, Mata. This is our battle for P3 here, ladies and gents, as the gap as well for P1 and P2 is increasing there, as it's now 3 seconds as opposed to 2. So maybe Matulik putting the pace on just a little bit as they now head down into turn 8. Is the car off? Who's that? Who's that off? Oh, is that Kotochville?
Yeah, the group.
Oh, it's yeah, it's Kotochville. So Kotochville there, moving out of the way. Got a bit concerned there. I thought that was the driver in P2 or maybe in P1. But no, here we go. So P3, P4, P5 and P6 here. Battle for P3. Here we go. So Davokos now riding on board with the back of... Oh, Mata, they're nearly hitting the rear. Runs it quite wide. Peckley now maybe going to try and capitalise on that. He's going to get very, very close to the rear of Pablo Mata. He's going to look to the inside. No, he's going to save it for the main straight. Back end of Mata getting very loose, but Peckley is very, 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 very close here as they head down the bank corner. He's going to get very close to the back of Mata. Look at... Oh, and he's just... Never mind, as they're now going to go side by side down into turn 1. Speaking of side by side into turn 1, Lal's going to try and make a move on Amara. They're going to go side by side. Is Amara going to try and hold on? No, Lal holds it on. No, makes a move there for P3. Lal is through. Lal is through, and I believe that's Peckley through on Mata as well. Side by side with Mateo and Reitberg as well. And Lal gets that P3 away from Amara. Here we go. This is going to go down to the wire, Alex.
This is not what Amara wanted. The pressure's been slowly building, but we've seen all of that yellow flag chaos last lap has allowed Peckley and Kalea to catch up with there. We saw on the back straight they had DRS. We now watch Almithi heading around turn 3 battling with Kuos.
Amara's round. Amara has gone round. We don't know what happened there, ladies and gentlemen. Amara has gone round. So the battle for P3 for Amara, it has ended. We're going to have a look at a replay as they now... So here we go. Let's see here. So Amara maybe desperately trying to hold on to Lal. Is it going to be a matter of maybe running a bit too wide on the curb? Yeah, it is, unfortunately. Runs it a bit too wide coming out of turn 8 and hits the wall. Might be a bit of damage there. Maybe goes right on board. Oh, a lot of sausage curb and yeah, just runs it wide on the grass. And unfortunately, you're a bit of a passenger at that point and you're in the wall. So very unfortunate there for Mara. As there we go into P8, maybe with a bit of suspension damages. Here we go. Peckley ran the outside of Davokos there for P4. What a move there! As Peckley there with DRS makes a move on Davokos into P4.
Peckley has gained all of the confidence. We've seen him struggling a bit with himself, but he has gained the confidence to try and hold it around the outside, which he has done successful. I have seen Davokos starting to lose his rear end, so is Davokos used his tyres in the first 13 laps, and is he starting to struggle now?
He could well be here as going to go side by side here. Al-Harfi and Kuz there side by side as they now head down into turn 2 and turn 3. They're going to try and keep it side by side. No, but is there going to be any moves here? You're going to try and hold it around the outside. Oh, speaking of moves, that is Elliot Rolls and Elliot Vega. Battle of the Elliots here. It rages on. P14 and P15 as they now head down into turn 3 here. Elliot Vega, wow, he's going to try and make a move there. It's very ambitious. There's a car behind. I'm not sure who that is. Is that Kotochville? Maybe just trying to unlap himself. I'm not too sure. It is indeed. Kotochville better hopefully doesn't get too involved in this battle, as that is the battle for reverse grid pole. But Kalea now just is sandwiched between Davokos and Mata as Matulik does start his final lap, and as everyone else here on our pictures will be starting their final laps too, Alex.
Yes, Matulik has been looking cool, calm and collected at the front, but the battle of the Elliots, it could be an Elliot front row. They just need to keep it clean. As we watch Kaleo try to go to the inside of Davidos, he just can't get it through, but Mata is now on the rear wing. Oh, twitchy end there for Mata, but Kaleo is looking ever closer than he has done the past few laps.
Absolutely, as Peckley as well has pulled a little nice gap there to Davokos. So yeah, Davokos will be under pressure on this final lap. But speaking of pressure, Mata is also straight on the back of Kalea as well. So Kalea not having the best of runs. Elliot Rolls is out of the race. So Elliot Rolls is out. But a battle of the Elliots for reverse grid pole is over. and Elliot Vega is the one that maintains victory between the two. So there's a car running wide. Who is that? Is that a lap car? I think that's a lap car, isn't it? Yeah, that might be Lorenzo there. Just getting lapped, but there's a penalty for Thiesman as well. Machulik might be very close to the end of the race here as we now have a look at Siki there. But look, Lucas now rounding the final few corners. It has been a domination from Lucas. It is redemption for Brands Hatch. The Czech Republican rounds the final corner and wins race 1 here in Zandvoort, round 10. Congratulations, Lucas. There you go. Redemption for Brands Hatch, my friend. Siki there into P2. Cracking debut there for the driver there as Aman Lal. What a drive there to put himself into P3. As Peckley there into P4. Just about holds on. Davakos P5. Kalea P6. Mateo crosses the line P7. And then there's Amara, Reitberg, Mateo, and Kulan as well. Crossing the line. And there we go. There's Tim Coos and the rest of the grid here following round. What a race that was, Alex.
That was a brilliant race indeed. Congratulations to Machulik. This is his redemption, as you said. Took the words straight out of my mouth. Redemption for Brands Hatch. But I'm really curious about what happened to Ellis Rolls. I'm wondering how he DNF'd.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happened to Elliot Rolls there. It's very unfortunate. I believe we are going to get an answer here, Alex. So let's see here. So heading down into turn 11 and 12. Is it going to be... Oh, don't tell me to disconnect. It is.
Oh.
Disconnect.
Been abducted by aliens, unfortunately.
Yeah. Fortunately, aliens have been spotted around Zandvoort, and there you go. There is your proof. So, unfortunately, that is Elliot Rolls out of the race. Here's Omar Emad. We saw him DNF, I believe. Was it lap 1? Oh, criminy. That was close there. Oh dear. Do we know when this was? Was this lap 1?
I believe this was lap 1.
Yes, this is what happened on lap 1. So Lorenzo there getting caught up. Oh, back end. Oh, so Lorenzo spins. And then the next thing he knows, in comes a wild. Oh, yeah. Not great.
I don't think I did anything wrong, just trying to avoid him, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's just a collision of the two. Amar went to avoid. Lorenzo tried to get off the track. Unfortunately, that is what happens, unfortunately. But, yeah. No, who was it?
Lorenzo, was it?
Sorry. Who was it? Coach Sukak, I think it was. He went flying on the curb. Or maybe. We don't know. So, here we go then. So, this is what happened to Coach Sukak. Is it what we think it was? Yeah. Ow.
Very unlucky.
He'll be waking up with a couple bruises in the morning after that one. Yeah, that's... yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, after the incident, I just assumed there might have been damage previously, but no, that's very unfortunate there for Kochtov Sukak. But yeah, I think he was able to finish the race though, wasn't he? And get P15, so he'll be on reverse grid. Yeah, he'll be on. So look at that, ladies and gents. Even after flying in the air, you could still get reverse grid pole for race 2. So there you go. Anything is possible. Anyway, Lucas Machulik there wins race 1 here in Zandvoort with Azir Siki in P2 and Aman Lal rounding off the podium in P3. Gabriel Peckley in P4. Georgios Davakos in P5 with Hero Kalea in P6. Pablo Mata P7. Sofia Namara P8 after that very, very unfortunate spin there, which took him out of contention for the last podium position. Martin Reitberg finishes P9 with Lizea Mateo in P10. P11, Timo Kulan. P12, Tim Koos. P13, Amir Al-Hafi. And P14, Elliot Vega. P15, Sveli Kochtov Sukak. And P16, Elliot Rolls, who DNF'd, unfortunately, with the last few laps after a disconnect, but still finishes P16 on the road, I believe. As he, yeah, there we go. Kotochville, P16. Ronan Thiesman. I'm not sure what's going on with the sound is there, but Ronan Thiesman, P17. Lorenzo. Yeah, there's just a whole load of randomness going on there, but I believe I'm just going off what I'm seeing. So 16th Elliot, 17th Yuri, 18th Ronan, 19th Lorenzo, and unfortunately other DNF is Omar Emad. So not a lot of DNFs this race, really, in the grand scheme of things. So everyone's kept it relatively clean there, Alex.
Yeah, unfortunately with that lap 1 contact, everything else looked really clean. We saw cars flying, like in Brands Hatch. We saw a lot of battling, and you just got a feel for Amara just crumbling under that pressure. But well done to Matulik, recovering from Brands Hatch. Tsiki, I'm not sure if this is his debut, but a P2, well deserved for him. He's been on the pace. So.
Yep, there's a very, very good race 1 there, I think, and hopefully we can expect more come race 2. So, yeah, it'll be very, very interesting to see what goes on there. So, I believe we're probably going to go for a little break while the drivers warm up for race 2. So, be sure to... there is a race 2 coming up, ladies and gents, so be sure to stay tuned for that when it comes. But me and Alex, and also Amir, are just going to go on a little bit of a break just to recoup and get prepared for race 2 in about 15 to 20 minutes' time.
Inside a place of... On the next deck... Pretzels. Kelty seat, the coffee beanery, Tyrek.
Flat out. Oh, no!
No.
Oh, no! Who's round? It's Magnussen.
Oh, it's going to be a touch moment. It's in the barrier. Oh, they spun. Oh, this is a carnage.
And Menocon's
Oh
going
my
to win.
God.
It's a double pass! Could they take each other off? They don't! And Black slide! It's a victory for the Tuties!
They touch. They're now. Oh no!
Soriano's gone around and met the wall. Mitchell will go through. Does it go uphill into turn 4? Oh, and round the outside. What a fabulous move.
Frelick will use all of his as well. Here he comes.
yeah.
He makes a move. They touch. They run wide. And Munio's going to get it. We're going 3 wide. Look at
Sing.
contact. Oh, my goodness. The Tyne has lost a wheel.
Time's out.
The dramatic race that we were teeing up the entire time has come to an end.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're refreshed after race 1, as we now look to do it all over again for race 2 with a complete reverse grid from P15. So the driver who finished P15 is now starting on pole position, and the driver who finished in P1 will now be starting in P15. So this will be very interesting. Alex, what do you make of race 2? What do you expect, and what are your predictions?
Well, my first prediction obviously is that you got Taziki, you've got Lucas and Matt. I think they're going to make their way back up the field. I feel like we're also going to see quite a big battling, because we saw in the midfield, we saw the battle for P3. It was quite big, about 7 or 8 cars. I feel like we're going to see quite a lot of battling, which might hold back the people behind and give the people starting at the front that little bit of an advantage. But the man who flipped is going to be on pole, so...
Yeah, I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, he flips over and... it just shows that anything is possible, I guess. He comes all the way back to P15. So, it'll be very, very interesting to see what he can do from pole position. And we also have Elliot Vega as well, starting beside him in P2, who had a very quiet race 1, but just managed to put his car in P14, which is P2 on the grid as well. So we've got, two very interesting drivers. One driver having a crazy race, flipping over, the other just getting his car home, and that's put in P2. So as everyone now will line up on the grid, I believe we will cut to the intro for the race. So then here we go. All the cars are now on the grid for race 2, as we are now just waiting for them to get going on the formation lap as the red light goes out, and off we go for the formation lap. So we have a ride on board on our pole sitter for today. Sveni Kochdov-Sukak is on pole position. Elliot Vega starts in P2 as Amir Al-Hafi starts P3 with Tim Coos in P4. P5 is Timo Coulin, and P6 is Lizea Mateo. P7, Martin Reitberger, and in P8, Sofian Amara. Starting P9 is Pablo Mata, and in P10, Euro Kalea. And in P11 is Georgios Davokos, and P12, Gabriel Peckley. P13 is Aman Lal, 14th, Azir Tsiki, and P15, Lucas Bachulik. P16, Yuri Tochville. P17, Roland Thesman. P18, Lorenzo Etra-Funcic. And I believe we are missing a few drivers, unfortunately, from race 1, as it seems like there are 18 cars starting the race, opposed to 20 in race 1, as we have RD Chris as well there for good times. So, Alex, what do we think will happen in race 2? Obviously, you gave your prediction of Machulik and Siki making their way through in race 2. But what do we think of the drivers starting on the front row?
Well, I feel like they've got a good opportunity to show their worth in clean air, but one thing that they will have to manage is fast traffic. Obviously, we haven't seen many people getting lapped. The only people to be lapped are the ones who have been in unfortunate contact early on. So it's going to be a case of managing your tyres and managing your pace, but also keeping an eye out for the faster cars, because it's not a matter of if they come past, it's a matter of when.
Absolutely. I mean, this is definitely their chance to show that they can maybe hold on to a higher position in the race, as here we have Lorenzo Etra-Funcic there. Is going to be rounding off the 18 car grid for this one, rather than the 20-car grid there. Weaving around, getting some energy into the tyres as he stops right on his box. So here we go then. We've got Savelli Koch on pole, Elliot Vega on the left, 4 lights, 5 lights. And the lights are out. They weren't held for long. Savelli Koch gets a really good start, but the driver in P4 gets a terrible start. I mean, I think that is actually driving start in P3. But Elliot Vega seems like he's got a very decent start there. But Tim Ku's now going to try and go round the outside. But Elliot Vega holds on. So Elliot Vega holds on to P2. Koch is in P1, however. So Koch leads the way. Elliot Vega P2. Tim Ku's P3. We now have a look at Timo Kulen with Martin Reitberg right behind him. There's contact there. Amara, bit of contact there. And Matulik seems to be dropping a few positions as well. Matulik's got down into 17th, but Tasiki has managed to capitalise on that and is now P9. So Matteo, as we now cut to, is now just trying to keep up to Tim Kuhs, but Koshchev Sukat there with a flying start is now already a second ahead of Elliot Vega, with Tim Kuhs in P3, Matteo P4, Kuhn P5, Reitberg P6. There's all back end kicking out there a bit from Matteo, but as they now round turn 10, Elliot Vega has got a mighty defensive job to do here for P2, as Koshchev Sukat seems to be running away with this one, Alex.
Yeah, so we saw, who is that? That is Crashville in the gravel doing some donuts for the fans. But we saw a relatively clean start there for the field. Looked to be going about nearly 4 wide into turn 3, so no wonder there was a bit of Constantinoing going on. But we see Kuos keeping the pace. Matteo not that far behind, but a relatively clean start for race number 2.
Absolutely. I mean, well, I say usual, but sometimes you do get a race 2 pile-uppers. Oh no! It's contact straight. That's Lorenzo. It's round. Speaking of round the outside goes Lau. Look at that on Amara. Lau round the outside. He goes. What a move there for Lau. So Lau is up into P10 and is now going to be trying to chase down Al Hafi. Is Amara going to try and go down the inside there? Might not have the grit there to try and make the move. But as we now have a look at Gabriel Peckley there, who is now getting a good view of this little battle here between Reitberg and Kulen here. As they now head down into turn 7. Reitberg going to try and stay as close as he can to Kulen there, but yeah, it's everyone's now going to be trundling their way down into turn 8, but yeah, here we have though our front-running drivers trying to make their way through, Alex.
Yes, Amara looking to be struggling a bit in lap 1, turn 3, as we see Desmond getting overtaken by Kalea and Lucas Mashalek down in 13th, sorry. So he's going to have a bit of work to do as Davidos is out. Davidos is out of race 2 here in Zandvoort.
Yep, Davokos is out after a pretty decent race 1. Unfortunately, he will go no further in race 2. It's very unfortunate for Davokos. Would have liked to have maybe seen him move up the grid, but yeah, I'm sure we'll see what happened to him after the race as we now go on board with Martin Reitberg lining up a move on Timo Kuhn as Koshchev Sukat gets the fast lap of the race. Speaking of, whoa, look at that. Peckley trying to go down the inside, but Reitberg makes the move round the outside of Kuhn. Is Peckley going to try and make it on Kuhn as well? They're going to try and go side by side. Down they're coming to turn 2, then turn 3. He's hitting the grass. Is he going to try and hold it round the outside? Is he going to try making a send? No. But is that also Tinsky trying to go round the outside? Oh my goodness me. Is he going to get that one done? Oh, there's a bit of contact. They're going to try and go 3 wide. Come on, guys. Look at this. They're going to go 2 wide now. It's going to try and go round the outside of Timo Kuhn. Peckley looking for every single gap possible, side by side through turn 7. That's ambitious, guys. Let's see here. They're still going to go side by side. Still side by side. They go heading down into turn 8. Tinsky has to back off. Kuhn holds on to P6 there. Wow, wow, wow. As there's a bit of contact there, as Mata and Lal. Oh no, Mata and Lal are off. So maybe a bit of contact there going through those corners, but wow, wow, wow.
That was some incredible racing there from Peckley and the other 2 drivers. I just didn't catch their names, sorry. I think it was Chazinski and Kuhn. But managing to hold it 3 wide outward turn 4, heading down up to turn 7 was one of the most brilliant moves I think I've ever seen today.
Absolutely, and Elliot Vega though also now has managed to pull a little bit of a gap to Tim Cruz, which puts him under pressure from Martin Rotberg. Tim Cruz has got DRS and maybe made a mistake. Because there we go, they're going to go to 3 wide heading into turn 1. Nope, now it's 2 wide. Cruz and Matteo side by side. Is Matteo going to try and make a move round the outside of Matteo? I think he's going to get that one done here. No, they're going to still go side by side heading down into turn 2 and turn 3. He's going to try to run the outside. There's a bit of contact. Down they come into turn 3 into the bank hairpin. But Matteo can't get past Tim Cruz here, and that all allows Vega to pull away and conscious of Sukak as well. But Martin Rotberg now is under pressure from Tsiki now as he's going to try make the move there. Martin Rotberg backs off. He realises he's not his battle, but Peckley's now going to try and maybe try to send one down the inside. Oh, what a move there from Peckley. Through he goes. This man's on a mission. Here he goes. He's now going to maybe try and go on Tsiki there. He looks like he ran a little bit wide, but no. It's all status quo there as they head round turn 8 and then turn 9. As here we go. This is going to get very heated as this Tsiki there looking to make his way through the grid. Timo Kulan now also looking to maybe make a move on Martin Rotberg. Lucas Matulik now making his way back through the grid. Is he going to maybe try and move on Al-Hafi there, heading down into turn 11? I think he is. He's going to send it. He scares Al-Hafi off of maybe making the apex, and through he goes. And Matulik is up into P9, as now it looks like the gap between P2 and P3 is closing a little bit as Koshchev Sukak starts a lap 5 here, but it's now 6/10 between Elliot Vega and Tim Cruz, but I think Tim Cruz is a bit too far away. As Tsiki now, he's on a charge. He's on a big charge. He's going to look down the inside of Matteo. Where's he going to go? Left, right. Through he goes. Trying to go round the outside. No, he can't get that one done. As here we go, and there is Martin Rotberg there trying to make a move on Timo Kulan, but Lucas Pachulik and Tsiki making moves here, Alex.
What has possessed these drivers? Down the inside goes to Tsiki. A lot of contact there between him and Matteo. What has possessed these drivers? They are battling hard, harder than in race 1. It's beautiful racing as well. Kajukov gone a second quicker than Tim Cross, showing that this battling is really holding them up, but it's allowing everyone else at the back to slowly catch up. As we see now, Matulik trying to go around the outside of Keeper. Oh, in the back! In the back, who is that? I think that's Amara. Amara's into the gravel. Oh no.
So Amara has gone round, unfortunately, but there's loads of battling there going on. Tsiki then mustering his way past Matteo. Now Matteo seems to be under pressure from Peckley, and Tsiki now maybe trying to make a move on Elliot Vega. But here we go. Let's have a look. We're riding on board with Peckley now. Maybe going to try and go down. It's all a bit of a late defensive move from Matteo, but he's still going to try as Gabriel Peckley. Room is given as they're now going to go side by side here. There's a bit of contact. Oh, there's a bit of a squeeze onto the gravel goes Peckley. Al-Hafi dropping positions as well while all this is going on. As Lal is in. All the front runners are making mistakes here. Lal is in the wall. Tsiki passes Vega. I don't know where to look.
Can you believe what we are seeing? It's absolute chaos here. Lal missing his front wing. We saw Samara going backwards as Amari.
Elliot Vega. Sorry to interrupt you there, but through he goes in turn 1. Here we go. Elliot Vega's put up a bit of a fight for the podium position. Sorry to cut in there, Alex, but you know I saw and I had to say, oh my goodness me! What is going on there? So through goes Tsiki trying to make a big old stand. He's not happy with Vega making the move on him there, but Vega is not relenting this P3 here. Tsiki desperately trying to make his way through, and he seemingly can't. But here we go. Peckley and Matteo are going to try and go side by side, but no, Vega holds on to P3 as they now round sector 2 here. Sorry to cut in there, Alex, but wow.
That's absolutely all right there, James, because I was not paying attention to what was on the screen, which was a mistake on my end, because you cannot tear your eyes away of what we are seeing.
There's just so much action going on. There's loads of argy-bargy going on. I'm not sure. It might raise tensions a little bit, but I'm sure as commentators, we are loving every second. As Drew goes speaking there on Elliot Vega. Elliot Vega's going to try to hold on the outside. Oh, speaking of pushing off. Oh, no. Off into the gravel goes one of the red cars. I'm not sure who that was, Matteo. But side by side go Elliot Vega and Tsiki there. But Elliot Vega backs off, and he runs it wide a little bit there. So that gives impetus for Peckley to maybe go down the inside at the big bank corner there, the final corner. But is Vega now going to try and get into the slipstream of Peckley and make a move going into turn 1?
We're on board now with Peckley. Now he's going to have to go defensive against the 2 silver cars. Matulik trying to go around the side. Contact! No! The side of Matulik. Matulik keeps going, but what on earth happened there?
Oh, Vega, my friend, you're battling for P3, and oh no, he's just, unfortunately, I think, outbroke himself and hit the car trying to go around the outside, but also, there's Machulik. There he comes. He is making his way through the grid after a terrible start. He is now in P5 and looking for more.
And Elliot Vega is out. He is DNF'd. He will not see the finish. I'm not sure how he's DNF'd. He managed to survive the contact, but I can't believe what I've seen.
There's so much going on. It's not even halfway. I mean, we are halfway now, but oh my goodness. Here we go. Seeking out, maybe trying to make a move on Tim Coos here, as Beckley as well, maybe looking to capitalise on this, and he wants some as well. He wants to try and make a move. Here we go. Is he going to maybe try and send one? No. Okay. All right. There we go. Are they talking to each other? Is there some telekinesis going on here? As Machulik just goes straight past Peckley. Wow, okay. I mean, maybe Peckley thought, this isn't my battle. Maybe I want to see Machulik and Siki have at it. But here we go. Speaking of have at it, here goes Siki. Maybe he could try and maybe make a move on Tim Coos here. Heading down into turn 1. He's in the slipstream. He's going to try and go around the outside. Is Machulik maybe going to try and capitalise on this? No, he's going to sit back. But Tim Coos is not giving up. Trying to make a move, but no. Siki goes round the outside and makes the move there on Tim Coos, but Machulik's going to be like, no, I can't be held. I can't be stuck behind Tim Coos for this lap. Is he going to try and maybe make an ambitious send? He's going to try and go around the outside, around the back corner. He's going to get a very good exit. Here we go. They're going to go side by side. He nearly gets the back of Tim Coos. They're going to go side by side here around turn 4, 5 and 6. And Machulik makes the move after a cracking exit out of turn 3. They're still going to go side by side. Coos. Down they come into turn 7. Back end kicks out for Peckley. And he's staying in P5. Machulik through to P3.
All right, and while this is happening, I think the leader has made a mistake. The gap was about 7 seconds. I saw on the timer board, Sector 2, last lap for the leader was 5 seconds slower. But I think Peckley knew what to do. He knew that Lucas was quicker. He knew that he could possibly get through with all of them battling. So, as we look at the replay now, this is the leader. This is Kochikov. And what does he do here? Oh, he just does what Amir did in race 1. He just goes very wide on the sausage curve, bottoms out. And very lucky not to hit the wall there.
Yeah, a lot of time lost there, unfortunately, for Kochikov Sukak, but he's now going to have the 2 hard chargers chasing after him. How interesting is the end of this race going to be? As Peckley now goes Dylan Coos on DRS, and I think Tim Coos isn't going to put up a huge battle for this one. Yeah, there we go. So Peckley goes through into P4, and Tim Coos slots in just behind, but maybe he might be wanting to challenge back here.
Yeah, all of that, Machulik managed to get it through nice and cleanly. We got yellow flags in Sector 2, they immediately disappear. I think that might have been, Lorenzo. He was ahead of Amara, now Amara is 4 seconds ahead. But now we're going to look at the midfield now, all battling for P4 where Peckley currently sits.
Yep, so here we go. So Timo Kulan leads this little train here for P7. Kulan, Reitberg, Kalea is very close to the back of Reitberg there. So let's see if any moves can be made. As here we go. Hero Kalea looking very, very close to the back of Mike Reitberg. Is he going to maybe try send heading down into turn 11? Here we go. Oh, he's looking. Is he going to maybe make a move? Here we go. Is he going to make an ambitious send? Here we go. They're going to try to go. Bit of a knock up on the right front there. Into the gravel goes Mike Reitberg. Bit of a switcheroo from Kalea. Here we go, side by side. They go heading down into P13, not P13, turn 13. And Martin Reitberg thinks, right, no, you can have that, my friend. You clearly want it more than I do. And through goes Kalea, Matea, and Reitberg now as well. So Siki sets a new fast snap of the race. Oh, there we go, Matea nearly in the grass there. But here we go, down into turn 1. Is Mata going to try send on Reitberg? Reitberg goes very late defensive, but Mata switches to the outside. He's going to try and stick it around. Can he do it? No, he can't. But here we go. This is going to look interesting for the battle for P9, Alex.
I think Reitberg made a smart choice. He tried backing out for the DRS, seeing if that would help him. It just didn't work out. But now Reitberg is under pressure from Mata. Mata gets a good exit down to turn 3. There's not really much of an overtaking spot, but we saw earlier on in the race, Peckley tried to do it. Is he going to try and stick it down the inside into turn number 7? He's going to try and do it. Oh, he just can't get it into the inside. And Reitberg holds on into P9.
Yeah, he didn't have the overlap there. That would have ended off. And he's following him off as well. There's a car off, and Matta follows him off as well. Oh no! I think that was Matteo going off, and Matta went off his sympathy. Oh, Matteo! Oh no! Mate, oh dear, so he's gone off the track, and I think he's trying to hold on to as much position as he can, but now Kalea and Rightbug are now going to go side by side, heading down into turn 11. It's like a duplicate of last lap, but Rightbug is going to try and hold on to it this time. It's a bit of contact as Rightbug hits the gravel. As here we go, though, we now cut to Machulik, Siki, and Kochanov Sukak in a battle for P1.
Yes, Taziki and Lucas have been cooking on this lap time. Lucas goes fastest. He's done it 25.5. He's gone half a second quicker than the cars ahead and a full second quicker than the leader. Lucas has really shown his pace, but he's got to try and get past Taziki.
Machulik is all over the back of him, isn't he? He is flying at the moment. As it's definitely on here for the race win, but I don't think Kochanov Sukak is going to let them idly by. As all car off there. Oh, Lorenzo, fortunately off yellow in sector 1, but Kochanov Sukak though will try and hold on. But look how close Machulik is to the back of Siki there. Look at that. There we go. Nose to tail there are these two. Obviously P1 and P2 in race 1. Machulik P1, Siki P2. Will it be switched for race 2, or will Machulik in the next 4 laps find a way through to get into P1? Will he find a way past these guys, or will Siki maybe get his first win in GPV? Who knows? Here we go. Look at that. There's 3 of them coming on to these final few laps, Alex. Here we go. This is going to get interesting.
Has someone turned up the heat here? Because this race in this entire race has been... Kochikov's has gone wide. Taziki's going to have a run, but Kochikov's going to have to try and defend without the DRS. Is he going to try and let him through because he knows that he's done this mistake? He knows they've got the DRS. It looks like he's doing that. Is Lucas going to try and go around the outside? He's going to have a attempt at nearly ripping off his front wing.
As here we go, they've both got past Kochanov Sukak after Kochanov Sukak unfortunately made a mistake. Here we go. Oh my goodness me, I thought we were going to hit the back of Machulik there. Is he going to still go try side by side there? But no. So it's Machulik is sneaking out for the lead of the race in race 2. Machulik is used to chasing down the leader. He did this in Imola. He got past Gribalizzi on the final lap of the race. Let's see what happens between himself and Siki here. As Siki will desperately want this P1. He will defend this for his life. We saw how he was battling with Vega. He's so desperate to get this win, and you can tell there's only going to car off. I think that's Lorenzo there pulling out of the way, but Sasiki is holding on to P1, but Kochanov Sukak is not letting go as well. You can still see him in our pictures. But here we go, DRS flap over to Machulik. Will this be an easy move into turn 1, or will Siki make it as hard as possible? Is this a food position drop for Desmond there?
This is... Go on.
Here we go. So Lucas Machulik on the back of Siki. Will the DRS help him as much as possible as they head around the banked turn of turn 14? Is Machulik going to have enough slipstream in DRS to make a move going into turn 1? I think he's a bit too far back here, Alex. But this is going to get very interesting. Lap 13 out of 15.
Yeah, Lucas has been in this position before. Remember the last time in Brands Hatch, he followed Adam Law to the win by approximately a few tenths. As we see, Roytberg trying to go down the inside of Kalea, can't get it stopped in time. Just a bit of a mistake there. But here we are, the battle of the ages. Machulik is going to try and stick it around the outside of turn 7. Taziki, I can't even say his name. Sorry,
Siki, it's quite hard to pronounce, don't worry. I'm sure he will forgive you, do not worry. As he is leading the race at the moment, he's got Lucas Machulik right behind him. Machulik hungry for 2 race wins in a row. Siki desperate to get this first place, but look how close Machulik is. You can see him in the rear wing as they now head down into turn 11, the final sector with nearly 2 laps to go. Running a little bit wide there at Siki. Machulik is as close as he can get as they now head down into turn 13, the final few corners. Machulik gonna maybe try and hold on as close as he can. He's looking a lot closer than he did in the last lap. Here we go. Is this going to be a move for the lead of the race? in race 2. Here we go. Siki goes very, very defensive. He's going to force Machulik onto the wider line as they now head down into turn 1. They're going to go side by side. Here we go. Is Siki going to try and hold on? He's going to... Oh, he's trying to stick his nose in there. Machulik leaves him no room there as they now go side by side, heading down into turn 2. Siki backs out. Is he going to try and send... Oh, there's a bit of contact in the rear. Is he going to try and send one? No, he isn't. But he's going to hold on. Here we go. Is he going to get a better? Is it the Machulik and maybe try and make a move heading down into turn 7? Let's see here. He didn't try and make a set into turn 3, but I'm sure he might try one here. He does not want to let him go. Here we go. Machulik goes defensive, but no, Siki doesn't try and send it to turn 7. As here we go. This is hopefully heating up quite a bit here. As Siki is going to try and hold on to Machulik as much as he can to stay in the DRS, Alex.
Ziki's emotions are running high. He's led quite a bit of this race, now he's just watched Lucas try to go around the outside. A lot of contact there, so I think that's just mainly down to internet, but Suzuki will have the DRS as we now watch Kalea on the back of Kulen, and Machulik is now properly ahead and trying to build a gap.
Absolutely, but I don't think Siki's going to let him get away with it here. He's 4 tenths behind Machulik. Is he going to have the DRS for the final lap of the race to maybe make a last-minute send on Machulik? Here we go. We're going to ride on board with Siki there. The DRS flap opens. We ride on board. Here we go, heading down into turn 1. Is he going to try it? No, I think he's a bit too far back, is he? Yeah, he is indeed. He's going to still sit behind Machulik. It's side by side. Here we go. Martin Reitberger, here at Kalea. Side by side they go. The battle rages on between these two as here we go. Timo Kulen now going to try and go down inside of Team Coos. They're going to go side by side. It's 2 for 2. Team Coos goes down the inside. Kalea and Martin Reitberger side by side heading into turn 1. Down they come. Turn 2. Turn 3. They're going to stay side by side. No, they're not. Reitberger can just tuck back in, but look how close Siki and Machulik is at the moment. Here we go.
The gap's only 2 tenths of a second now. Suzuki is going to be trying and praying that he can get a good run on the last DRS straight, as we see Amin Lul set the fastest lap of the race. But it didn't look like that good of an exit there for Suzuki as they enter turn number 10. Oh, a snap as well. This might be the race over for Suzuki, but there's 1 DRS straight. He just needs to pray that he can get a brilliant section of turn 11, 12 and 13.
Absolutely, I think it is almost done and dusted for Lucas. If Lucas can hopefully cross the line without any mistakes, I'm sure he'll have this one in the bag. He's come from P15 to P1 here, and Siki has tried his very, very hardest to hold on, but it will have to suffice for P2 as Machulik, the Czech Republican, makes it 2-2 here in Zandvoort. Here we go. And he's won. There we go. Machulik with the win. Siki P2. Koshov Sukak holds on to P3 in the end. Pekli in P4. Timo Kulen P5. And here we go. The big train of cars. Is Kalea maybe going to try? No. So Tim Kuss in P6. Kalea in P7. Reitberg P8. Mata in P9. Matteo in P10. And Thesman and the rest here looking to cross the line. What a race that was, Alex.
Yeah, that was an amazing race. We've seen it all. We've seen crashes. We've seen brilliant racing. We've seen overtakes. I don't think there's anything else we needed to see. Unfortunately for Samara as he heads down into turn 11. Unfortunate racing for him. Got very unlucky. We saw him go backwards as he now proceeds to do a 360 for the fans.
So absolutely. I mean, that was. Yeah, I've almost lost my voice here. I mean, that was an incredible race. I mean, as you say, we saw it all in race 2, and luckily there wasn't. I mean, there was a few push-offs and maybe some questionable wheel-to-wheel, but that's just racing at the end of the day. It's great for us commentators. Loving every second of it. But Amir now crossing the line to finish race 2. But yeah, that was a very, very interesting race there. We're now going to have a look at a few replays. So. Here we go. So this is lap 1 here. So Kratochville now on the inside. It's Machulik. This is what happened to Machulik here. This is how I had a very poor start. So he's now heading down. Go 3 wide. Oh, we got contact from behind. Contact from behind. I wonder who that was from. I mean, yeah, it's come back from that. Was it Kratochville on the inside? Yeah, it was. Yeah, contact with Crutchfield there, unfortunately for Lucas, but hard hit. It's amazing how he came back to win from that. You know, after lap 1, you'd think, you know, that's done and dusted, but let's see what happened to Crutchfield. Yeah, just unfortunately poor line going into there and just runs it a bit too far wide. So, yeah, unfortunate, but at the end of the day, Lucas managed to win that race after that. So, all my plaudits to him. After being backwards on lap 1, it's never easy to come back from that. So this is what happened to Lorenzo then. Oh, so contact from the car behind. I'm not sure who that was. Davicos, maybe? No. Who's that?
It's even Davidos or Whiteberg. It's one of the orange cars. That's just unlucky contact from the looks of it.
Yeah, very unlucky. Oh, it's Davicos, I think. Yeah.
Wow, it's Davidos. We know. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, doesn't it, Alex? I mean, you know, you're trying to pull to make a move and you don't realise how close your front wing is, and unfortunately that's the result of it. But, yeah, I think he just calls it quits there, unfortunately.
Yeah, unlucky racing from the two of them.
I'll let you commentate through this one, my friend.
Alright, so Ron Desman, does he just run over the curb again? Yes, he does. We've seen a lot of drivers do that, and he loses his front wing. So I think this is one of the cars you saw as we were watching Calera battling. I think this was one of the cars you saw just going wide on that curve.
I think so, but I also think there was another one as well who, after they've rejoined, I think they just tried to make a move on the other cars. But here we go, here's that man Lal. Oh, spin, and yeah, it's easy to spin through there. You know, the car's are lightweight, the back end goes light, and yeah, unfortunately, that's the result of that. Was it Amara that got caught up in that? Was it something else? Is it something else here? So Amara trying to make his way through back end, and that was what we saw in the background, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, big hit as well. He's really lucky not to have lost his suspensions there. We look at Amir Halifi. It's turn 11. Just locking up and going wide, and then this is what happened with Adam Null. Oh, just contact on the rejoin, just getting put into the wall. Very unlucky contact there. Yeah,
that's very unlucky. And there's Elliot Vega, battling for P3, and going off track a bit there, but calling it quits there. Unfortunately, I think he did realise he'd lost P3 and unfortunately went straight into the wall. But yeah, I mean, I think it was just outbroke himself, unfortunately, and hit the car next to him. But yeah, just very unlucky there from the American. But I believe now we will be moving on to interviews for today. So, speaking of, I need to go through the results. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, Lucas Bachulik makes it 2-2 and wins race 2 as Azir Tsiki finishes in P2. Sven Kochtov-Sukak in P3 with Gabriel Peckley in P4, Team McCool in P5. Tim Koos is in P6 with Herakalea in P7, Martin Wright by P8, and then Pablo Mata P9 and Lazer Mato in P10. P11, Ronan Vestman, and P12, Aman Lal. P13, Sofina Mara. P14, Lorenzo Eterovic-Vuncic. And our DNFs for race 2 are Elliot Vega, Amir Al-Hafi, Georgios Davakos, and Yuri Kratochvil. So that is it for racing action here tonight in the Academy Series. But we are now going to be moving on to the interviews where we have a chance to talk to the drivers of today. So there we go. As you see the lovely Dutch orange Academy car for interview section. So then, Alex, who should we talk to first as we see a few drivers waiting in the interview room?
I feel like we should go for Tziki first, the rookie. I'm pretty sure he is his first race.
Yep. I think we'll go with him. Lovely. Let's bring him on in. Azir, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. Lovely. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yep. Lovely. Well, very good 2 races there from me, my friend. P2 in both races, battling for that illustrious P1 at the very end. Would you like to just talk us through your races?
Yeah, it's a good race in general. We make probably a good setup, and yeah, I've been very happy with the car, and you know, when you are happy with the car, you can do good things in the track.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you know, I believe this is your first race in GPV, isn't it? So you know, a very good, solid first two races there. You know, two P2, battling for P1. Are you looking to do maybe a few more academy races, or maybe are you looking up already and maybe trying to make your way into other categories like FS2 or maybe even FS1?
Probably going to finish the I think 3 more races in this year, no? If I am.
So
or
this
more
year,
or something like. Yeah, probably I'm going to be here the next year because I think that the car is lovely car to drive, and I'm very, I want to say, I'm very funny to drive. So yeah,
yeah,
very happy to be here.
yeah, and you definitely showed that there's definitely more to see from you, my friend. That was some good racing we saw there. But Alex, you got any questions?
Oh, I do have a question. Sorry. How do we pronounce your last name? Sorry.
Chiski. That's a
Chiski.
Basque name, so it's very difficult to. Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, if you are to watch back the stream, we do apologise for mispronunciation.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we did try our best, but I think we both butchered it. So yeah, apologies on that front. But yeah, no, two very good races there from you, mate. You know, can't wait to see you compete in more races.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening, mate. Lovely. So that is. That's it. So P2 in both races. I'm just going to check if Lucas is available to talk because he's on deafened and mute. But I'm just going to check if he's.
He did message that he would be on deafened and mute, but he is ready for his interview.
I'm just going to check because you never know. So obviously, he is our double race winner. I think it is only right that we talk to him. Lovely. There we go. He is ready. Let's bring him on in. Lucas,
Okay.
can you hear us? Hello. Yeah. 2 race wins there. That's lovely, good old redemption. You're on an absolute roll at the moment. Race 2 winning Spa and then winning 2 races in Zandvoort. Do you want to just talk us through your races there?
Yeah, it was super crazy. I mean, race 2 especially. Yeah, I was just unfocused. I'm not sure what it was, but I just couldn't get myself to focus. But I still brought it home in race 1, and in race 2 I just got into an incident on lap 1. I don't know whose fault that was. I think I turned down a bit once I got pushed wide by Amir. So yeah, I had a lot of damage. I thought it was over, but it was only like the diffuser, the part on the, or like in front of the rear wing on the MFD. So I thought, you know, my rear wing is still on probably, so I'm gonna race on. And yeah, just crazy. I can't. I'm shocked at how I won that, especially with the damage. Yeah, but it was fun, and I'm super happy to finally bring home a back-to-back win.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we saw what happened in race 2. We were going through the lap 1. Obviously, the whole motions of everyone battling and all the positions changing around, and we did see that. You know, you were still in P17. Well, you dropped down a few positions into P17. Sorry, yeah. Come the end of lap 1, and we were like, "Oh goodness me, how's he going to come back from that?" And you know, you did. We see you in P1 with 3 laps to go. So, yeah, it's a very incredible drive through the pack. Did you come into any issues coming through the pack, or was it nice and clean on your side?
There weren't any big issues. I mean, there's always the risk of running into slower drivers. You know, so many people were taking a different line in the banked corner, for example, and I'm pretty sure you guys saw like a switchback overtake I had to do towards the end of the race, so that was a bit sketchy, but I mean, other than that, everyone raced quite clean, at least raced me quite clean. Yeah, just Amir, if you can hear me, mate, just please calm it down next time, because there was so much contact in the final in the final fight that you guys didn't see. I was getting pushed into the corners. Yeah, that was a bit sketchy as well. But other than that, it was clean.
Yeah, we saw you two battling quite hard towards the end, and yeah, it did get very, very close and very sketchy. But you know, luckily both of you were able to remain pointing forwards and have good results there. So yeah, any questions, Alex?
I do have a question for you, Lucas. So obviously you took pole by 3/10, but it did look like a bit of a struggle for you. You had Amir and Amir there as well. So how did that make you feel? Did that motivate you to try and get that little bit quicker to try and find that 3/10 advantage, or?
Yeah, I was struggling a lot through quali. I didn't expect Asier and Sofian to be quite close. And for some reason, I just couldn't get under a 25 or under a 25, like a low 25. So yeah, I just head down, I boxed, and then I went for 2 quick laps at the end, and yeah, managed to pull it through. But yeah, I think qualifying was the worst part of the day for me because I just couldn't focus on my laps.
All right, and obviously you said you struggled with the back marker traffic. Other than your issues, did you enjoy it going through the backfield? I mean, obviously you've had to do it before, like in Brands Hatch, but on Zandvoort, where it's such a narrow track, you get a lot of banking, which can affect people's lines. How does that make it feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's sketchy, but on the other hand, it's quite fun. It's academy, so you run into so many various people that might not have the same experience as you. So I mean, yeah, it's fun, but there's always a limit of like, do I send it or do I not send it? And today I had to send it so much because of the start. I was so far behind, and I was just hoping to get a podium at least, so I was sending it everywhere. But yeah, it was fun going through the back.
All right, that's it from me. I'm not sure if you've got any more questions, James.
No, I'm all done with my questions. Yeah, very good drive there, Lucas. Double race wins. That's something to be proud of. So yeah, have a lovely evening, and I hope to see you in maybe FS2 next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll be there. And I want to say, Alex, congratulations on your first day of commentating in GPVWC.
Thank you.
I was waiting for this moment, and I kept this performance until he got here. So yeah, thank you guys.
Saving it for Alex.
Bye-bye.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me.
All right,
See you
bye-bye.
later. Have a good one. Okie doke. So, as we now are well aware that the only time Matulik wants to put his foot down properly to get 2 race wins is when Alex is commentating. So, but no, yeah, that was class from Lucas there. So, who should we bring up next? I'm hearing in the broadcast room that Lorenzo wants to be brought up next because his pancakes are going cold.
We can't let his pancakes go cold.
Amir said why not eat them. I agree, but we will bring him up because he was able to get P14 in race 2. So, hello Lorenzo, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello Lorenzo. So, pretty eventful 2 races there. We saw you all over the road, but you ended up in race 2 with the P14 finish. Do you want to talk us through your races?
I frauded that on account of everyone else just deciding to die for some reason. But, I'll take it. Race 2. Not race 2. Race 1, sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. Race 1, for some reason my force feedback was poor. Like, I had next to no feeling. I had some feeling, but it was really weak. So, yeah, it didn't go quite well. And then race 2 managed to fix it, and it was going alright. It was going better than race 1 for sure. And then Georgios Davakos, he DM'd me already to apologize. I accepted his apology because it just happens. It's academy, so you have to kind of be prepared for those things to happen as well. It's just a shame I was the one who, suffered it. But I did give Chris Williamson, bless him, some pain in his head with how I got back into the pit, which was just like going back 50 meters from where I crashed into the pit lane which isn't allowed. I just did it because I couldn't be bothered doing another lap with no front wing and the entire right hand side of my car being in full dark blue damage. And then after that, you know, once I fixed the damage, once I had clean air, once, you know, force feedback was working properly for race 2 as well, you know, I could actually string together some, for me, decent laps until into, what was the turn? It was where I was getting lapped. What happened was my game froze for a good 10 seconds and I was braking for the turn. And I was genuinely thinking that I disconnected from the server. It was Bocht 9, yeah. I recorded with OBS, so I can send the clip inside the server. Little plug there, if you haven't joined the server, join it. Yeah, I thought I either disconnected from the server or just went into a wall and crashed. And then the game came back, and I was locking up, and I see Savelli right behind. I was like, God almighty, what do I do? So I just pulled over off the track, and I thought I would finish the race unlapped, but I didn't. Still finished the race there, so an improvement nevertheless.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are a lot more DNFs in race 2, but you know, you were able to continue, especially after the incident with Davos. Obviously, as you say, I think these things happen in Academy. I think leniency is definitely key because obviously everyone's learning. So, yeah, Alex, you got any questions?
Obviously, Lorenzo, we saw your incident on race 2 where it just looked like you had a bit of contact with Davidos. Did that affect your confidence going forward? Obviously, you said it got you in a bit of trouble with Chris, but did that affect your confidence? Were you not feeling as comfortable after that, or what was the details with that?
I wouldn't say I felt any less or more confident after the incident with Davakos. Obviously, I knew that once they got past me, there was no way for me to get back past them unless they had an incident of their own. I'm quite content in knowing that, you know, I put no practice into this round. I just showed up because I felt bored. And now I wouldn't say I was any more or less confident. I just drove my race. You know, I mean, we saw on stream that I was quite close with Sofia and Amara during the midpoint of the race. I didn't even realize that I had passed him and Amar Al-Hafi up until I saw him in my mirrors entering turn 4 on one of the laps. And I was like, when did he drop back all the way there? So, you know, I just kind of kept my head on, did my own thing, and yeah, I managed to get it across the line in one piece, more or less. So, you know, onwards and upwards from here into Poznan, I think it is in 2 weeks, and not Hockenheim from what I heard.
Absolutely, it'll be interesting to see if. It'll be interesting to see how everyone does in Tour Poznan, because obviously I think the 2 rounds have been switched. So yeah, Lorenzo, have a lovely evening and enjoy your pancakes, my friend.
Thank you, and you dragged me in the perfect time as well for the interview because I've just finished doing the unofficial Academy spreadsheet. So yeah, we've got a new quote-unquote championship leader in Lucas Matulik now.
Lovely stuff. So Lucas, if you are listening, my friend, you are the unofficial championship leader in Academy. Congratulations.
All right, I'm off.
See you later, Lorenzo. Have a good evening.
Likewise.
Right, so there we go. That was Lorenzo Eterovic-Funcic. So who should we bring up next? I think we should go for Sofia Amara next, personally, as he got. I'm just going to check if he is ready. Ready for interview. Just going to check because he is streaming and I do not just want to drag him in case he is in the middle of a conversation. If he doesn't answer, I will just drag someone else in. Bear with me just a second, ladies and gentlemen. He is answering. Yep, so here we go. Sofia and Amara. There we go. Sofia and Amara, can you hear us?
Yep, very well. Very
lovely.
Well.
Lovely. So, P2 in qualifying, very, very good quality, 3 tenths off of Lucas, but unfortunately in the race, You did end up finishing, I believe, where was it? P8 and P13 in race 2. Do you want to just talk us through your races?
Yeah, I can tell you about what happened in my race, and that's very sad actually because race 1 was pretty good. I think I've got the pace to be on the podium, but that contact after the lap 1 was a little. I knew it was my fault, but yeah, that broke me my suspension, and it was too difficult to drive perfectly every corner. Because every corner that I make was perfect for me, and it was yeah, I hate defend like when I race, so I already knew that the podium would be very difficult, so I tried everything. And on lap 13 with the dirty air and everything, I just took the curb too early, so I lose the car, and P8 and race 2. That was no luck because every crash that happened in race, I was there and I was the victim of the race. So I've got all the damage on the race, everything on my car. It was all everything was okay. And lap 5, I just lose the car, hit the wall, and lose my front wing. I repair my car and just drive alone for the rest of the race. But that's sad, but that's life. I'm the victim of that race. Maybe I can do more for the next race, and yeah, that's happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these things happen. I mean, you were still, you came across the line in points in both races, but I'm sure you're probably hoping for a lot more after qualified P2. But as you say, come I believe it's Poland in 2 weeks' time rather than Hockenheim, as we have been given news of that. So, have you ever driven at Tor Poznan before, or is this going to be a completely new track for you in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, it's a completely new track. So it's for me, it's a little bit exciting. But I'm a little bit scared of what I can do because I don't know actually the track. So maybe there is some corner that maybe we can do some overtake, but I don't think so. It's a little bit confusing, but yeah, I can be surprised by that, and I hope I can do a really good performance like a podium. And I know I can do this because Brown Dutch, I can possibly win the race. Imola, it was really difficult, but I was doing a podium, so yeah, I think if I do some good lap, if I am regular, if I do some training, maybe I can do some good performance, and I hope really to do some FS2 again and do what I am really capable of. Because I am sure I am a really good driver, but I just don't have luck actually.
Yeah, it'll be very nice to see you in FS2 again. Obviously, after Spa, it was definitely nice to see you there, especially after commentating.
Yeah.
Your races. But yeah, any questions, Alex?
I have a few for Sofian. So in race 1, I believe it was, we saw you go for a defensive move and a bit of a squeeze almost, and you got put into the wall. Have you got anything about that to share with us, or?
I saw that incident. I won't say that it was the fault of the. I don't know who was the second. Got a. Yeah. Otherwise, I think it was a racing incident because I go for a gap that doesn't exist. I'm not Ayrton Senna, and yeah, I can agree if it was my fault, and that's sad because I did that on early in the race. If I didn't do this, maybe I will be P2. So yeah, but with that action, I think it's a racing incident because he can see me go inside and that doesn't necessary to stay on the inside line and push me in the wall.
Okay, and we saw you battling at the front for pole. Are we going to be seeing more of this soon, or is Zandvoort a good track for you, or can you give a bit more information about that?
I think if I am a little bit more serious, if I'm a little bit more concentrate, if I do the setup good for me, yeah, I hope I want to do some pole. I want to do to be on the podium. I want to do what a young driver can prove, and yeah, I think I am sure that I will I will be more in the front. I trust on me, and yeah, you will see more me on the front. On the front, yeah.
All right, thank you, Sophia, and that's all the questions I have for you.
Thank you.
Lovely. Yeah, have a very good evening, my friend, and I hope to see you in more academy races.
Yeah, thank you, and for you too, both.
Cheers. Have a good one, mate.
Okay, thanks.
So that was Sophia and Amara. So we've got a few more drivers, I believe. Hopefully we're not getting too late. I think we might have to. How much time do we have for a few more, Amir? I'm hearing we have all the time in the world. Alex, do you have all the time in the world?
I've got all the time in the world.
Okay, well, bring it on then. Right, so I believe we should bring Matteo Loza up to speak with us. There we go. Let's bring him on up. Matteo, can you hear us?
Oh, I'm here.
Hello, Matteo.
Hello.
So, lovely. So, P10 in qualifying, P10 in race 1 and race 2. Bet you're sick of seeing the site, P10. But no, very good, consistent results there. And do you want to just talk us through your races?
Yes, this is a very good race. I'm on P10, so double points. This is important for me because last race I have 2 DNFs. And this race it was very good, and but not the car. The car on the rear are so unstable, and I go on oversteer in the turn of speed, and I in the start of race I was before, but because of my mistake I was P9, and on the final I was P10 in race 2. So race 2 I want to be a different race, but and the race 1 is a very good race, but race 2 is for me is not a disaster, but a point of start.
Absolutely. You know, as you say, did double DNF last race. I'm sure a double P10 would have been great for yourself, and you know, a good vision for hopefully the next round come Poland. Alex, have you got any questions at all?
I've got no questions.
No questions at all. Matteo, we will leave you be, my friend. Well, actually, I have one more question. Will we see you in the next race at all?
Yes, I'm on next race. Is Hockenheimring, right?
So it's actually news has just been broken that it is actually Poland next instead of the German Grand Prix.
And when is the next race?
So it'll be in 2 weeks' time, 27th of July.
Okay, thanks.
No problem at all, mate. Yeah, so very good races there from you, and have a lovely evening.
Yes, and for you, a lovely evening.
Lovely, thank you. So that was Matteo Loza, ladies and gentlemen. And who should we bring up next? I think we should go for Timo Kuhlen. I think he'll be the next one up. Timo, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. Sorry for the long wait. We've got a lot of people to interview here today, so we're trying to get through everyone as quick as we can. So then, you managed to qualify. Give me just a little minute. I've only got the race results, so I'm trying to have to 15th, 14th, 13th, 12th. So you qualified 12th, and in race, it's been a long day. So you qualified 12th, and in the race, you were able to get P11 in race 1 and P5 in race 2. Do you want to just talk us through your races?
All right, so to let you guys into an early... forgot the freaking word in English. Never mind, I'll keep myself short for race 1 at least, because I had a half spin around lap 2, and then nothing happened. I just been driving in 11th for like the whole race, so that's that concluded. Race 2 was a little bit more interesting, considering I think the first contact I had was turn 1 on the formation lap, which was great.
On the formation lap?
Yeah, in the formation lap.
Wow. Was there any brake testing going on, or were you just
No, I got hit in the rear, so...
Oh no. Happens. Did you get any damage from that at all, or?
The car felt a little bit weird afterwards, but not really. It didn't show anything, at least. It just, I don't know. My brain just said there was something, maybe there wasn't. It's ghost damage, I guess.
Ghost damage, I like it. So, race 2 then. We'll talk about race 2. So, P5 on the road. That was a very good performance there. You'll have to remind me of where you started again. Was it Where did you start in race 2?
5th.
5th. So 5th to 5th, but still a very good result nonetheless. Do you want to just talk us through race 2?
Yeah, it was a bit more interesting. Obviously on the start losing out a little bit because a little bit more turn 1 shenanigans and turn 3 shenanigans, how you have it in Academy. Then it mostly settled for me, at least. I had a little bit of a close call with Lucas, where I think he had a lot of faith with me not turning in from how far he sent it back. But besides that, not really much. The last laps were a bit interesting with Tim, myself, and the other two having a little bit of a kerfuffle. Was really interesting, which luckily ended with me being in front and, well, Tim being behind me and the other two being behind both of us. But besides that, not really. It was an Academy race. You had cars in a wall. You had cars driving in front of you randomly. I'm glad I survived better than in Brands Hatch when my internet died twice. So I'll take it as it is. I'm happy with 5th.
Absolutely. Will we be seeing you for Poland at all?
If I get the practice, indefinitely.
Lovely. Any questions, Alex, for Timo?
I do. So, with your result, you start P5 and you finish P5 in race 2. Do you think that you prefer the reverse grid? Do you think that gives you a bit more confidence, knowing that there's less cars ahead, so there's less to worry about, or how does that help you?
I wouldn't essentially say reverse grid helps me. Of course, this time it helped me a lot because I couldn't move forward in race 1. But usually it's a double-edged sword, I'd say. If it goes like this, it goes all fine. It's a normal race with the normal incidents that happen. But there have also been races, I think, if I remember correctly, Saudi, where the reverse grid just goes into full rampage because there's obviously the people in 15th starting in front, and depending on the pace gap, it just turns into a bit of a minefield or whatever for everybody.
All right, I think that's the only question I had. Sorry. So I'm not sure if you got any more questions, James.
No, none at all. That was good race there from you, Timo, and hope to see you in the next one.
I'll see you guys at the next one then.
See you in the next one. Lovely.
Right.
So, Alex, do you want to lead these next two questions?
Yeah. I would like to ask if we can bring down Elliot Vega first. I have a big question to ask him.
Yeah, of course.
Elliot, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello, Elliot. So, a bit of a struggle for you today, I think you could say. You DNF'd in race 2, sorry, but you did manage to get the front row on it. So, how do you think race 1 went for you?
Race 1 went all right. I qualified better than I thought I would. I was just trying to do some more heavy fuel running in the car, get the feel for the race. And then on the start, my clutch wasn't working, so I bogged down big time, and I got rear-ended. But besides that, it was pretty consistent from me, just hot lap simulator, because there was nobody really to fight, because everybody in front was just spinning, and I was just picking up those positions.
All right, and we saw in race 1 as well, we had the battle of the Elliots. It was you against the other Elliot. I'm not sure of his last name, unfortunately, but how do you think your battle with him went?
I was really excited to fight him, and I was trying to play it safe and let him by and get him back on the straight, but he disconnected, and I was happy but annoyed at the same time, because I really wanted to prove that he wasn't faster than me.
So you wanted to prove that you were the faster Elliot,
Better
but
Elliot.
unfortunately he got taken by aliens. And then in race 2, you were up there, you were battling for P2, and then unfortunately you had the contact with Lucas Machulik. Can you explain that a bit more?
Yeah, so I was catching I forgot what his name was, but I was trying to keep it safe and out of the wall, so I let this blue car by, and then I was catching back up to him after the light blue car wanted to battle a little bit, but he was just sending it every corner, so we were losing big time. And then I let him by, but I washed wide, and that just let all these cars onto me, and I made my first mistake of the whole race, and it was the race ending, unfortunately. So I had a talk with Lucas, and he's fine with everything. It doesn't look like it affected him too bad, but it's just a sad way to end it when I feel like I could have had a podium there.
Yeah. Have you got any questions, James?
Yeah. So after the contact, we did see a replay of you go full pelt into the wall at turn 2, rather than continue. Is there any reason behind that, or did you just not feel like continuing after unfortunate mistake?
No, that was not on purpose. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was in the struggle of trying to get my car back, but I pressed something that switched my camera to the broadcast camera, and I was trying everything to switch it back, and then boom, the wall was there.
I see. Easily done. Easily done. Right. Well, have a good evening, and will we be seeing you in the next race in Poland, Elliot?
I think for sure I'm gonna put laps on the server. And if the Monday's available for me, then I'll rock up, because the times are a little bit weird in America, but. We'll see. I
can imagine. Right. Have a good evening, and hope to see you in the next race.
Alrighty, toodaloo.
See ya. There we go. So there's one more left to interview. We're nearly there, ladies and gents. We now have Ronan Thesman. So there we go. Do you want to lead this one again, Alex?
Yeah, I can do.
Yep. Perfect. Right. Ronan, can you hear us?
Yeah, hi guys.
Hello, lovely.
All right, Ronan. Bit of a struggle for you this week. To say this weekend. We saw you pitting a few times. Just looked like you were a bit off the pace. So how do you think your 2 races went?
Well, the first one I actually miscalculated the fuel already, because this is my first time in R Factor, so I underfueled the car and I didn't realize it. And then the cherry on top was when the guy slammed on the brakes, and I don't know if it was T8 or T9 or somewhere around there, and then I lost my front wing, and I had to get in the menu to change it. So it's just a mess, and then I didn't serve or I don't know, I accidentally stalled the car. I drove out of the pits, got the stop go, and then I had to go in again, serve the stop go. So it was just a mess first race.
All right. So, how did you think your race 2 went? Because I remember you having the contact in turn 11 with the blue car. I can't remember his name. But race 2 with the reverse grid, how do you think that went for you?
I think it went alright. The start was fine because I was just back at the back of the grid anyway, and then in turn 3, some people spun each other out in front of me again, so I got some body damage, but it wasn't on the front wing, so it was fine. But yeah, so that happened, and then everyone just kind of spun out in front of me, and I was just hot lapping and setting my own pace, so that was fine. Except for the one time when I crashed in the wall then.
Okay, have you got any questions, James?
Yeah, so after today, obviously, your first GPV race, I believe. Do you have any plans of maybe driving in Poland in 2 weeks' time?
I'm actually away then, so I can't, unfortunately. But I'll be back for Germany. I thought it was a fun experience to do this, so.
Lovely. That is what we like to hear here in GPVWC. So, you have a lovely evening, my friends, and I can't wait to see you in 4 weeks' time, driving in, I think it's Hockenheim, isn't it? Yeah, Hockenheim. Yeah, the German Grand Prix. Have a good one.
You too, I'll see you then. Bye.
See you then.
Have a nice evening.
Lovely. So that is everyone that wanted an interview interviewed. So that's been the stream for tonight, ladies and gents. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate alongside Alex Bettany tonight with Amir Oates on cameras, but we will have to unfortunately go for tonight. But we will see you in 2 weeks' time for the Polish Grand Prix at Tor Poznan. Have a good evening, and we will see you then. Bye bye.